Let's begin. I want to do this video explaining how God is in a computer and how the internet is the infernal. I'm not sure if you guys know what the infernal is, but that's the underworld. Peace and wisdom, J Hall. I was just about to ask that question. If I need to speak up at any point, let me know. I'm talking kind of low. Now, when I say God is in a computer, what I mean is this. Your most highest ruler or rulers of the world, they have computers set up. You know, computers with the screen. And they speak to different spirits on these computers. I'm going to explain how that works. Of course, you have the Ouija board, which is like the keyboard of a computer. You have a scrying mirror. This is like the screen of a computer. So I'm giving you those references so you don't get too thrown off in your mind when I say they have computers set up where they speak to different spirits. If you ever seen a Ouija board, so this has to do with speaking with spirits, but the Ouija board ain't nothing. It's just like a toy version of a computer. Of course, a computer is a thing to come later, but it was present during the time of Ouija board, just not for the public. Just like there's many things that's out right now that y'all know nothing of, but you know when it's time to come. So now they have these computers set up where they speak to different spirits. And the most highest spirit of them all is called Elion or Elyon. This is the ancient Hebrew word for the most high. That ancient Hebrew word, Elion, or most high, it has to do with the spirits. If you're lost into religion, Solomon, Abraham, these people were dealing with the spirits. And Solomon was bounding spirits. So I'm saying that so you don't get, thrown off from reality. We've come a long way in technology. And so dealing with the spirits, it's a technological thing. Now, like I said, they have many screens. You can just view just to give you a perspective, think if there's like 10 computer screens up. And these spirits, they take on like the AIG forms. You know how like when y'all go online and maybe, what do you call it? Like if Siri has a face. You know, like the fake little robots. I forgot what it's called. Slipped my mind. Not a physical robot, but you know, the online ones where it's just a voice, but a face can be put to it. And so look at it like that. They're communicating with these spirits through the computer or through telecommunications. And this is how we got all the technology that we have now. Our junior said an avatar. I'm not sure what's Salam. Maybe that is what it's called. I'm not sure. But that's not the word. When they're speaking of These little online applications, basically bots, but you ever seen a video where they have, like, you know, the computer generated little robots, but it's not a robot, it might be a person, but you're like, that's an AGI, or that's AI, you know? Like, y'all might be watching something and y'all will say, man, that's an AI. That AI ain't something in physical life you could go see, but you like, you get it? They just put a face on that AI's voice and like that. God is in a computer like that, but computers have to do with telecommunications. And so, before we get into all the God stuff, let me give you guys a clear understanding of the underworld so that it all makes sense. The birds ain't too loud, are they? Sound like he getting right. Now, you have the physical world. You know, what y'all looking at right now. You have the physical world in life. And you have the underworld in death. Now, most of you guys, well, all of you guys should know what the physical world is in life. But in regards to the underworld in death, this is where it gets fuzzy. So let me put all of that in perspective. You have consciousness, or awake. This coincides with the physical world and what we know as life. Consciousness. Then you have that thing called unconsciousness. And this is associated with death in the underworld. Now, if I ask you guys, what world is in the unconscious realms? Of course, when you're conscious, physical life or the physical world is there. But when you fall into unconsciousness, what world is there? If most of you have a working mind, you'll say what we call dream. And so dream is the underworld or the infernal. And of course, you have many places in dream, just like you have many places in the physical life. And so in the past, they had an understanding of that place that we call dream. They understood that that place is associated with the unconsciousness, meaning when we fall into unconsciousness every night and go to sleep, or when we fall into unconsciousness when we die. That place, of course we haven't died yet, but you guys all fell into sleep. And so dream is the place in that unconscious space, just like the physical world is the place in the conscious space. So you have those two realms of reality, unconsciousness in death and consciousness in, you know, life. Now, dream has many places, like I said. Dream is the underworld, but dream is not dream. We just know it that way because most haven't died to know, you know. Peace and wisdom, alien magi. My channel was not for desperate people looking for attention. That new young stuff y'all got going on. Please stay out my space. My space is for those seeking wisdom, not clowns. You got anything of importance to say? Cool. And when I say of importance, I don't mean where you pretending like we buddies and you know me. Salam. And the rest of y'all stop coming to my channel on stupid time. You got many places online to be a fool, many places in this life to be a fool. Stop coming to my channel acting like you slow. Salam. Now, there's many places in dream. Of course, y'all have nightmares. Y'all have different dreams in different places. So I'm giving y'all a perspective. Physical life has its places, and this has to do with consciousness. And then when you're in the unconscious realms, of course, you have dream, which is the infernal or the underworld. And it has its places. Now, of course, you have the living in physical life, you know, the world. And you have the living dead in the underworld. So let's say when you go to dream, he said there's either proof or there's delusions. Exactly. There's nothing that I'm explaining that isn't in real life. If you wasn't so stupid and on a stupid path, you'd grasp that. You don't know what dream is? You don't have to know it's the underworld, but you don't know what dream is to have a brain to say, okay, I have conscious and unconscious. So hopefully the rest of y'all can see how stupid people can be. He said, show proof for this underworld. He doesn't have a brain to say, when I fall unconsciousness, and you get it? He's too dumb. He thinks like, there's a thing called real life, champ. You disconnected from it. Disconnect yourself from my channel. Salam. Now, when I dismiss you like that, that means it's no hope for you. You're just stupid. That's what you want to be. He says scientific proofs. He thinks there's a proof that's higher than reality, meaning he don't have a brain to know. I go to sleep. I've dreamt. It's dumb. Like, some of y'all are beyond stupid. Truly, you too young to be here. And so I'll say it again for anybody that's new. My channel is for 35s and ups, not little kids desperate to find yourself. And especially not how y'all carry yourselves in the daytime, where you pretend like you everything you ain't even come into your own self yet. And I've been a scholar for quite a while. You're just a little kid playing online games where y'all find something to be. Please don't come here like that. Thank you. Salam. Peace and wisdom, Chanel X. I was letting homeboy go. I apologize. Now, you have dream. The rest of y'all are following, I hope. Hopefully the rest of y'all don't have that slow problem. And if you do, you can, you know, clarify where your brain's getting tangled up at. In regards to these proofs, whatever I explain, you get proof, whether it be book proof or whatever. It depends on what I'm speaking of. If I'm breaking down a scholarship, you get the proof from that scholarship. If I'm breaking down something that have to do with life, life is the reference. Now, you have the living in the physical world, and you have the living dead in the underworld. This is what we know as dream. And so let's say you have a dream. All the people in your dream, like I said, you have the living dead. This is the dead in the underworld, or what we call dream. And so let's say you have a dream and you see your brother in that dream. Brother lives in his own house, doing whatever he's doing while you're asleep, but you see him in your dream. In that, you know he's not in the dream with you. He's in his house, probably asleep, or maybe he awake. The point I'm making is that's not your brother. You have the living in physical world, and you have the living dead or the dead in the underworld. Now, the living dead is your spirits. And when you're speaking of the spirits, you're talking about the legions and those with rank. When I say those with rank, they have like rank and title, like king, duke, president. Different titles of rank. And then you have the legions. This is those that have no title and rank. Now, in regards to the spirits or entity, in regards to the ranked ones, they're called the eternal dead, meaning they never come into physical life. They just are part of the unconscious space. The eternal dead, the living dead. Depending on the culture will determine the phrase, but the ranked spirits, they're always dead, or they're always a part of that underworld. You can call them the rulers of it. Then you have the legions. The legions are all the people that fell into religion that were living. And when they die, they become the legion. So religion or religion and legion, it's the same thing. Legion means, you know, many. Now the legions, they fall under the ones with rank. The ones that have title, basically the eternal dead. And you can look that up in like the Ars Goetia. That's one of the books in the Lemegeton, or the Lesser Key of Solomon. There's a book called The Offices of the Spirits, or the Book of the Offices of the Spirits. It's in that book. You have many ancient books like that that explains these order of spirits and how to contact them. And so that's where all of that comes from, but it's not allegory or anything. It's a real thing in life. You have the spirits of the dead, and you have the living. And life is a balance, so you get it? You got spirits being born in the physical world. And of course, you got people dying. But every night you have people falling in their sleep, like, you know, into the underworld. Y'all are just not dead yet, so you get my point? It's kind of like just a passing through or a precursor thing. But you can't trust the entity in the underworld. This is the dream space. You can't trust them just like you can't trust people in the physical. Meaning, you ever hear people say they like took DMT and then they had like, they saw God? Or they had like a divine intervention? The way to God is not through drugs. So I'm just saying that so y'all can see how off track y'all are in the daytime. If you took DMT and you think, I saw Jesus, and yeah, you're thrown off. You're basically saying the way to God is through drugs. God ain't in drug land. wherever the drug took you. And somebody gotta tell you that. Like I said, I'm just saying that so y'all can see how off course y'all are in regards to morals. Morally, that don't make no sense. That's like somebody saying I smoked crack. And when I was on crack, I was talking to Jesus? Huh? And so you get my point? DMT and other drug mixtures, the psychedelic ones, that's the key to getting to these entities. I'll explain that, but you can't trust you can't trust the entity in the underworld just like you can barely trust people in the physical world. It's the same. Like everybody has their agenda, I guess you can say. Now, when you're dealing with the Ars Goetia, just to give y'all a little history, the Ars Goetia is basically the lesser key of Solomon. Of course, Solomon is the one that bound the spirits. King Solomon bound the spirits to the spine vertebra. If you understand your body, of course, that's where your spine vertebrae are. You know, your spinal bones. King Solomon bind the spirits to the backbone of the bodies. So y'all have Solomon as like a person that did something. Solomon's work is in all the bodies, the physical bodies. You get my point? Meaning these prophets are whatever y'all want to call them. They're deeper than what y'all are understanding. So like I said, most of y'all probably look at Solomon like, okay, he a person that walked the earth and was bound in ghosts. And no. You have all the bodies in life. Meaning I have a body, you have a body. They're male and female. Animals have bodies. Even the solar body that we're in. This is the sun and its planets or its chakras. It's a body. We're just inside of it. We're like the cells in it. But I'm giving you that reference so you can grasp when you're dealing with the physical life, you're dealing with physical bodies. Even if you're in a physical world, that means you're in a physical body. Just like the cells in you, they're micro entity inside of a physical body. The same as we're like micro entity in comparison to the solar body. We're in it. And so I have a backbone. The solar body has a backbone. Any body, whether it's a dog's body, whatever, it has a backbone. And that's Solomon's work. That's Solomon's temple that he built to bind the spirits there. Meaning, y'all have a body. Y'all have cells in y'all body. These cells live, they die. But they're still in your body. Meaning when a cell in your body dies, it doesn't just come out of your body. It's still there with the living ones. But the dead cells are separated in that way, meaning when a cell dies, its energy or its soul, so to say, is brought into the spine chamber. Like that. And so it's the same in this world that we live in, which is the body. When we die, our energy is drawn towards the backbone. This is where the spirits are bound. Now, if you understand a body, of course, after conception, you have your embryo, then it grows into a fetus, but there's time before you have a backbone. The backbone develops like all the other bones when it does. And so before that time, when a cell dies, it's amongst the living cells. The same way in this physical world we live in, which is the body. In the early beginnings of this world, before it had a backbone, well, when people died, their spirits was just mingling around with the living. And so you can imagine that chaos. And so that's what the Testament of Solomon book is explaining. Solomon's work having to do with all the bodies, not just our world, but our bodies as well. If this is clear and making sense so far, can y'all put up a one? No, I hate to waste my time. Now that's Solomon's work. He bound the spirits to the spine. In the individual vertebra of the spine, these are your seals. They have a shape. And of course, like I said before, the spine, the different sections of it, these are your different metals. So the cervical spine, C1 through C7, this is your coppers. Thoracic, T1 through T12, this is your tins. Your lumbar spine, L1 through L5, this is your leads. Beneath the lumbar spine, you have the sacrum, S1 through S5, this is your silvers. And of course the coccyx, this is your mercury. Top of the spine, which is the central brain, that's your gold. And so this is how your spine works. In perspective, you can say your body is like a machine, but an organic one. But, you know, the elements are there. If you're lost, you have an iron count. You have a gold count, a copper count. Of course, when you go to the hospital, they may only tell you your iron count. Meaning your iron might be low. Maybe it's high. I guess they'll tell you if the other metals is low or high if it's causing you a problem. Other than that, you don't bring it up. So most of y'all probably getting lost. You say, no, my spine is just a white bone. Not really, but the body worth a lot of money. Oh, there's a lot of jewels inside of you. That's not like sarcasm either. That's real talk. That's why they want them dead bodies, meaning when y'all loved ones die, they don't really want y'all to keep it. They come collect that. It's called a coroner, and they coming for that body. If you ever wondered, like, why do the city care about, why they care about collecting the body for? They would lock you up if you don't. If your grandma died right now, and you say, man, we gonna go ahead and keep her, man, and just bury her however we feel like it. Man, y'all going to jail. That's how deep it is. They want that money. You know how much bone marrow? That's not important. Let's stay on topic. Because we live in them times. You don't even want to tell people. Y'all will kill y'all grandmama for you. Feel me? I mean, she old anyway, so I will kill grandma for her spine. For one shin bone. I will kill y'all grandmother to get the bone marrow out of her shin. If I tell you how much it's worth, you gonna say she don't use her legs anyway. And I needed a new car. Can you imagine that? We live in them times too. I hope y'all don't think like that's a joke. We live in them times. People killing their parents and stuff for free. Off an idea. And so it's getting really bad. Now let's get back to the deep. Salam, are you guys grasping? If not, you know, I can just give you these Jews, J Hall. If you're not intrigued with wisdom, deep scholarship, you come every day to play games or whatever you do, I'm not sure that level of stupidity where one entertains themselves in that way. But let me know if y'all grasping so I can continue. If not, I can enjoy, you know, my view. Like I said, I can always do this video for J. Holland R. Jr. The rest of y'all don't have to be here. I'm not sure what mental problems y'all have in the daytime. But if you have a problem, just slide. Salam, shalom. Peace and wisdom, Savannah, Manhattan. Yeah, I was aware of that. Try not to get too lost into the cult knowledge. A lot of y'all dumb yourselves out in that way. I'm only saying that because if I ask you buy melanin, then you're probably gonna say no, I don't buy melanin. So you get it. I heard that online 1,000 million times, and you get my point. You think it hold merit in conversations concerning knowledge. And a lot of the things y'all get lost in, it don't have nothing to do with no knowledge. When you die, you think you're gonna go to God and he gonna be like, yo, did you know? Did you know melanin is worth more? You get my point? Y'all are kind of learning things that serve no purpose anywhere. Not in life or death or anywhere. Just in whatever y'all talking about in the moment. You get my point? But there's a lot of things that cost more than gold per gram. Now, are y'all grasping the video? That was the question. If y'all are, you can put up a 1. If you're not, you can put up where you're getting lost at. Or like I said, I can finish for my channel members. Peace and wisdom, Sean Fletcher. Just another aspect that correlates with what you're speaking about. All the body being worth a lot. Indeed. Don't get lost into the cult stuff. That's all I could tell some of y'all, man. Y'all have a desire to. If you're into the cult things or whatever y'all classify it, you know. I say cult things like, you know, trying to convince people a black thing or something. I don't know. Y'all know what I mean, the black groups and, you know, the black powers. I don't see the point because we already know we black. So who y'all trying to convince? And so that's what I mean. You get lost into these cult groups and find yourself completely stupid talking about nothing. You follow? If you were sitting in the rooms of me, so we'd all be like, why'd she just bring up melanin? I'm talking about the metals of the body. She said melanin costs more than gold. What the fuck do melanin got to do with the metals? Like that. You said I was just adding to what you were speaking about. I wasn't speaking about melanin. But you good. Don't get lost. I'm just trying to give you insight because y'all seem like y'all can only see from y'all own perspective. Y'all don't seem like y'all can see from outside of it. And that, when I say you got these black power groups, they trying to convince y'all were kings and y'all gods, and it's strange because you get it. Y'all don't know y'all black. They say, man, our people think we slaves, and that was back in the day. This young generation, they crazy. They don't know nothing. You get my point? It's like they're trying to show the young generation, man, we not We not low in nothing, but them times past, this generation see they black people rich. So the whole point is completely stupid. Like, and y'all be lost on these things. You don't never get to know actual knowledge. You get my point? It just be a whole bunch of convincing that black is better than white, I guess. And I don't like to get lost into them things. And things, you know, they stench of racism. You can't get no wisdom when you're getting lost in between the duality. Meaning the mind going shut down. I'm trying to make a point about black to the point where y'all say like God is black woman. God is a derogatory term. I'm sorry a lot of y'all don't know that. But God ain't got to do with no most highs and no individuals and no chosen ones and none of that stupid. God is all. And the stupid-minded person's brain have to get there to grasp the all until it does. When I say the all, I mean all around them. Everything here is from one source. Period. You could put this thing above that thing. You could play with yourself and say, oh, this one thing above everything. That's all bullshit talk. You got the duality. You got everything coming from one source, and the egos of the things making themselves feel like they got, you know, some type of status over the next thing. But this is all physicality, so to say. Don't have nothing to do with real God. It's like I say, y'all lost into the Satan. So that's where that word come from, God. And it have to do with the Most High, the one. When you talking about ones and Most Highs, you talking about Lucifer. Whether you knew that or not, you can look that up though. Lucifer, according to Christianity, was the one that was cast down. And he never said he wasn't the Most High no more. It just said the Most High was cast down. And so when you're talking about God the Most High, you're talking about the devil or Satan. That's why the book start off in the beginning, the Spirit of God was hovering in the darkness by himself. It's about the devil, God. And so a lot of y'all need to chuck that word from out of your brain. It's a derogatory term. Now, most of y'all, you don't know. So you get my point? It ain't an on purpose thing. You just don't know. But now you do. You do as you choose, but you tangle your brain up. Why you got to come over here with all of that, big baby? I swear that the animals is more annoying than people. They see you chilling in the cut, minding your business, and you feel me? A bird will just come shit on you for no reason. Then sit right there doing that. He already shitted on me. Now he gonna sit there. I should shoot. I'm just playing. That bird gonna shit on my head. Y'all ain't see that because, you know, I'm behind the camera, but I already took the shit on me. Now he gonna sit there and rub it in. And so the animals is like humans, you know? They don't learn till you put them on their back. They don't learn nothing good till you put them on their back, you feel me? Now, try not to get too lost in the cults and things like that, because I see y'all minds are really weak. Weaker than I could fathom. A lot of y'all need to give up the cult groups, you know, your Black Power groups and all of that. Your Hebrew Israelite groups. Give all of those things up. Come back on out to nature and, you know, get your brain back into reality, because y'all lost into too much imaginary stuff. And be telling me I'm pseudo. Pseudo mean when you making up shit, which is what y'all be doing. I be explaining life and giving reference. That could never qualify as pseudo. Pseudo mean when you made up your own thing. Like, whatever science I'm explaining is good in school and anywhere else. I'm just going deeper with it. And y'all little cult groups, y'all science be good for your circle only. Outside of that, ain't gonna pass no test. You ain't gonna pass no test with that science. I'm sorry if you think you are, but you're not. So a lot of y'all need to, you get it? My channel is for people that's serious about, understanding life and, certain ancient texts and artworks and things left behind. Like the accurate meaning of these things in regards to life. And then, you have those of y'all that's just online, playing games with yourself for the most part. And so kind of put a separation there. Come here when you serious. A lot of y'all be coming here trying to compete. Maybe you have a channel when you convinced yourself you was wise and we in competition. None of y'all in competition with me. You got to get serious. Half y'all little kids. And so hopefully you can grasp that at some point. Just come here and learn. The way to God is through freeing the mind. Y'all have a lot of people's perspectives over y'all mind. This is a slavery. It's just like in physical life. If you got people that bully your physical body around, you're not free. And you ain't no good to yourself. And so y'all have a lot of people's perspectives over y'all mind. Y'all don't have y'all own perspective or y'all own thoughts in mind. And that mind and perspective getting put on the right path. Y'all have like a bunch of other people's perspectives. In the perspective of mind, do you get it? Your mind is a slave to the many things of the world, whether it be another person's perspective or this physical thing you're getting lost into with that. The mind has to be free. I'm using the word God because that seemed to be the only thing y'all can grasp in regards to, like, what is above all or what is the source of all. It really have nothing to do with an above all law, but just, like a source thing, a precious thing. But it don't have nothing to do with bullies and threats, and it's just something you got to measure up to at some point in your existence. And if you can't, then you just can't have existence, if that makes sense. And so I'm using the word God, like I said, because that's all y'all kind of familiar with. But the mind has to be free for you to get the wisdom necessary to get there, if that makes sense. God is not a religion, a gathering of nothing. She was born in this life by yourself, so you got to get along with others, but it's still about self. Like, the self have to get the self. You have to learn self. So there can be a cleansing done of self. Like I say, everything is a balance thing. Y'all lack on that and that. Y'all lack on understanding. And it's gonna be like that as long as y'all live unbalanced lives, where y'all choose who y'all gonna be fair with and who y'all ain't. So you get my point? It start there. You being balanced and fair. See, we get friends and families and things like this before fairs. In that, we start off in an imbalance. Meaning you're gonna take your sibling's side over a stranger's side, even if they're wrong, but that's your siblings. And so you get my point? You wasn't born into the life where it was like, okay, truth and being fair is my brother and my family is whoever's that. It ain't happen like that for you. In that, we already put on a path of imbalance, so you have to adjust all them things. And the reason you want to do that is so you get it, everything can be in alliance or everything can be right. You're kind of born into life and it's scrambled all up, but you got to put everything in order. And so it wouldn't matter if that's your brother. If your brother ain't got no goddamn morals and is an unjust person, at some point you have to cut ties or they have to transcend. It's not about you get it? Catering to their imbalances, but it's about them becoming balanced. Or you having to separate yourself, otherwise their imbalances become yours. And that it was no point on you ever, achieving. And so it's a deep thing. But that's God, not none of the stuff y'all are getting lost into. And like I said, God is just a derogatory term, truly. So I wouldn't hold on to it so much. God is a knowing, and it really don't have anything to do with titles and names, but an understanding. And you'll know who knows from their understanding, and you'll know who don't know when they use words like God, which is just an umbrella term. But for who? You get it? Like supervisor. It's an umbrella term for whoever's the supervisor. For whoever and how many supervisors there is, but like who you talking about? So like that. You'll know who don't know when they use the words that those that don't know use. Which is like God and stuff like that, where you can't really, when you be truthful with self, you say, okay, we all know that word, but what exactly are you talking about? Because even people that worship the devil, they call him God. So who you talking about? Like that, it become tricky, it become exactly what it is, Satan stuff, scramble-minded things. And so like I said, God is a knowing, something you have to come to know, but that ain't gonna happen as long as you lost into, the imbalances of the world, the worldly things like y'all religion and all these other weird things. That should be clear as day to y'all that they're evil. Christians and, well, not Christians, but Muslims and Jews is killing each other. Basically Christians. Somehow y'all think that got to do with God. Like, we're doing this for God, huh? I'm not sure why y'all think that makes sense in life, but once you starting to kill and do negative things, you're not doing nothing for God. I'm not sure what you think you're doing. Once you start lying, doing negative things and strategizing to do negative things, you way off a path of God. I'm not sure why you don't even know that. And so if you a Muslim, I'm not sure why you think you on a path of God, but open your eyes at some point. And I don't play those, that's not all Muslims that's blowing up shit and killing people. It don't have to be. If one nigga in the group is a fucking dirtbag, and they keep that nigga in the group or don't change, or don't change the group, then they all dirtbags. Or they help dirtbags. And so you get my point? You can't be like, oh no, all Christians ain't evil, just some of us are. No. Pure and good, one drop of dirt on pure make it dirty. One drop of bad on good make it not good no more. Good ain't like dirt where it could be half and half, and it's y'all think like good like that. Like, nah, good could be a little dirty, it's still alright. I could know a little stuff and I could be right on a little bit and wrong on a little bit. Nah. If you wrong on one thing, you wrong on everything. Your whole perspective go together. you, you can't be wrong on one thing and then think like, nah, but on that other stuff I'm right. How? Everything go together. Even your scrambled thoughts, they go together still. So that's why I say you have to get to a place where you kind of grasp these things. Everything have to be aligned right. It have to make sense. Otherwise, what would we even be talking about? And so, if Muslims kill, you ain't in position to change or control what Islam do, like who they kick out, who they keep. The religion ain't something you made, it's something you fell into. In that, if you see you fell in some shit where some of the people killing, you might want to get out of it. If you grasp that ain't got nothing to do with God, you might want to get out of it. You can't be like, well, no, I'm gonna be my own Muslim. It ain't start with you. You can't take some evil shit and then be like, well, I'm gonna make it good. Life don't work like that. When you come to know whatever you a part of got crookedness with it, that's like coming into a group and you think it's a holy group and then 3 of the members, you like they selling dope and shit. You don't be like, well, it's just them 2. Well, you think the rest didn't know? That part. You just slide on out of there or just come to realize you ain't a part of something that's good. And so this is where most of y'all are with y'all religions. Like y'all still playing mind games on y'all selves, but y'all still have fears. Y'all God is the great threatener, so you know. If you don't go to church on Sunday, you're going to hell. And if you don't do what the good Lord said, you're going to hell, my nigga. And if you have sex on the Sabbath, you going to whatever y'all do, y'all going to hell, blood. So y'all abused. Say, man, Solace evil, man, he going to hell. Nah, I ain't a Christian. I can't go to hell. You can only go to a thing if you a part of it. You get my point? It's like jail. They not going to ask the civilian like, yo, you a blood or a crip? You what side you going? He ain't on none of those sides. He don't got nothing to do with that. They gonna put him with the regular civilians. When regular people die that don't know nothing about religion, like the indigenous people in the forest, they not gonna end up in. Why would they end up in the Christian section of life, where niggas sit in hell waiting for whatever they waiting on? You know, the shit they been waiting on in physical life that never came, that they gonna be waiting on when they dead. You say, how long is Christians gonna be waiting for Jesus to come back? The same amount of time they was waiting when they was in physical life, my nigga. It's gonna last as long as they want it to. It's how beautiful it is. A Christian die, they still be leaving. They say, nah, Jesus is coming. You just wait and see. I mean, they be dead for 100,000 years. You say, man, I done came back into life. I reincarnated, blood, and this is my second time dying. You still in the abyss waiting on Jesus? They say, yeah, he coming. You just don't get it. You didn't go nowhere. You was here with me. No, I wasn't. I left. I came back. Like that. They mind believe whatever they mind believe. When they die, they mind. If they mind, you can't change nobody's mind. They gotta change their own mind, but they gotta live out their own mind. In that's why I tell most of y'all better stop playing games with yourselves, because you're gonna die a Christian or a Muslim. And then what you gonna do? You ain't gonna change your mind just because you dead. Like, your mind is your mind. And so, you feel me? It goes deep, like. That's why I do my work. So hopefully y'all grasp and, you know, y'all come out of it. But only Christians could go to hell, and Muslims. That's why, you know, their teachings say 99% of them are going, because they have to go. If you a Christian and you say, no, I'm going to heaven, well, then what is Jesus gonna come and save you from? Because I'm sure you know he ain't coming while you alive. You've seen too many Christians die already, and blood didn't come. So this must be something that happens when y'all die. So let's say it's something that happens when y'all die, since we know it ain't some shit that happened when you alive. Otherwise, he's highly late. Shit, you done lost half your family though. Your grandma and everybody you know that was a Christian, they died already. So blood is late. We don't want to play on that and be like, no, he ain't late. He right on time. Shit. He gonna come back when Christianity gonna be over. Ain't gonna be a new religion. You feel me? And so I'm assuming he gonna save y'all when y'all dead. But if y'all going to heaven when y'all die, then what is he saving y'all from heaven? I guess so. It's like I said, heaven is a place in hell. It's on the top floor, but y'all going. I don't know what to tell you, man. But you're going. You're going to the bad place, man, because you want to believe in bad things. And so, just take heed to all I just said, because it's a deep thing. Said my great-great-grandmother told me religion was forced on them. Yeah, religion was forced on everybody. The Prophet Muhammad got beat up by the angel Jibril. This is how he came into the Quran. Blood told him to read and then squeezed him to death. He almost died. He did it 3 times. Then magically Blood learned how to read. I guess when you about to die, you say, I got superhuman powers kicked in. Magically an illiterate nigga learned how to read that fast. Now it had to do with him speaking or saying something that the angel Jibril wanted him to say, and he refused until, he got forced. So if you a Muslim and you want that little hadith to make sense, Jibril was telling Muhammad to say, what he told him to say. In the name of your Lord, who created man out of a clod. That whole hadith. Muhammad ain't want to say it. He like, nah, you ain't tricking me into your religion. So they beat him up. Same with Moses. He freed the Hebrews from Egypt. But when he freed them, he ain't tell them like, go ahead, y'all free now, run and do you. He dragged them to the wilderness. He went to go talk to God or whatever spirit he be messing with. He comes out the cave. They worshiping a bull. He gets mad and kills a bunch of them. Killed 3,000 Hebrews that day, man. Moses, read the book. He told all the Hebrews, well, the Levites, they the only ones that, was listening. He told all the Levites, man, get your sword and just slaughter. He said, go into the gate and slaughter every man, wife, his kid. Man, he said when they was done, man, 3,000 Hebrews fell that day in that wilderness, playing with Moses like that. A lot of y'all never read that book, so you don't know that part. You didn't read that part when Moses went into the mountain to get the 10 Commandments. And when he came down, they was worshiping the calf. You know the movie version where he threw the 10 Commandments and then Aaron or somebody died. You don't know about like what it say in the book. After he came down and chastised the hell out of them, then you get it? He told the Levites, which was amongst the Hebrews, kill them. And they kept niggas all night till they got tired, and 3,000 Hebrews was dead when they was done. And I guess the rest of them fell right in line. They said, oh yeah, Moses, you right. The golden calf, this Islam thing we trying to worship is not right. Because in Islam, the crescent star or the crescent moon, that's bull horns. It's ancient bull worship. They used to worship that in Egypt. I got a post where I show y'all that. They got like a calf on top of a box and they're praying to it. That's like the Kaaba. But, y'all think that that's a crescent moon. It's bull horns. And so the Hebrews was trying to get back to their ancient Egyptian Islam worship when they thought Moses wasn't coming back. And he came back and made them get right back on Christianity. He came back and killed the Christianity back into them. You feel me? You better know your scholarship if you come here playing with me. Cause I know it. I'm a legend. So you can go read Exodus again. Get your scholarship together. Peace and wisdom, Savannah, man. Now, I'm gonna get back to this video in a second, but I'm just trying to show y'all religion is evil. It's a worldly thing. Most people born into the world, they born into some kind of religion. Or it's put in their brain that they supposed to have one. And that, you get my point? They don't get that whole bump. It's just scapegoat stuff, like excuse stuff. That's why y'all blame everything on God. A little kid get killed, y'all be like, why would God? I scratch the back of my head. I say, God ain't nowhere around. They know who killed that little kid. Why is they blaming it? Why are they blaming it on God for? They say, how was there a God if he let little kids die? The hell do God got to do with what y'all letting happen? But I'm just giving you an example so you could see. Y'all like use God to blame whatever y'all want on God. Even y'all sins. Y'all say like, God gonna die for my sins. I say like, why would he do that? Then y'all be like, Silas is the devil. I say like, now you get there. I'm just trying to figure out how that makes sense in your head. You a sinner. God gonna die for you. Why? Why would he do that? Is he dumb? God must be some slow Forrest Gump motherfucker or something, because I just don't see why anybody with a brain would do that. Why? And so, he's not. But it's like I said, y'all have this God that y'all can just blame everything on, even y'all sins, anything y'all want. It's just y'all excuser, like something y'all have to excuse yourselves from whatever y'all want to do. I'll kill people, y'all be like, I did that in the name of God. This is what Muslims is killing people in the name of Allah. I say that makes sense to them. They think Allah got to do with killing. He do. But I don't see how they don't see that's the devil. But carry on. I don't want to interfere with anybody's party. If you got a brain and you grasp everything I'm saying, you better separate yourself from them things. Because they evil. Whatever you view God as, you have to become here on earth. I know it's a hard task. If, you view God as something divine and great. Like I said, as of now, y'all got God as some lamb chop that just, y'all blame all y'all problems. Y'all blame all y'all problems on, and y'all ignore God when y'all doing good, and then when y'all fucked up and broken, y'all be like, man, God always on time. Shut the fuck up. You get it like that, like, annoying me, but I got y'all little system, You're doing good, you don't pay God no mind when you're doing bad. Now you the most godliest person on the planet, and you get it. God gonna die for your sins, and he's y'all good, great blamer. Whatever y'all want to blame that y'all don't like in life, just blame it on God. But I ain't talking about y'all, meaning I ain't telling you to live up to that. But I'm saying like a divine thing. If you view God as a divine thing, you have to be that. You say, why? Why do I have to be God? You have to be a gangster to be a part of the gang, You have to be a Christian to be a part of the church. I'm just giving you examples so you can grasp. You have to be the thing to be down with it. I don't know why you think God is just accepting losers? Why? For what? What's the point? What's the point of God being so great and then you could just be a whole piece of shit? Why? Why do God got to put in all the work and you ain't got to do nothing? That part. It's fool's talk. You have to be God here. Meaning fair, balanced, kind, loving, etc., etc. All-knowing, All of the things you view God as. If you say we can't be God, If you come from God, but you can't be God. You know, Christians will talk all around the board. They believe they come from God, but they can't be Him. So they lazy. It's like I said, they're just lazy. They got all the excuses they need to stay lost. You know, it gives them leeway to do whatever they want. You know, have ugly thoughts for people, all kind of things, you know. Religious people stuff, where you pretend like you're holy and you're the furthest thing from it. So wisdom starts with balance and honor. You got to be honest with yourself at some point in life, and then, you know, make the corrections you need with self. You know, making sure you're fair. That way your perspective is fair. And that is good. And so if you're a Christian, you're not going to heaven. And if you say why, well, if you go to heaven, then what is Jesus gonna save you from? You can't just skip over that. Your whole belief is Jesus is gonna save us, and you gonna see. I'm not gonna see anything because I have real wisdom. So this Jesus person, you know, this fraud y'all have, I know the real version. And the real version raises us up every day from the abyss, because y'all don't know how to raise yourselves up from unconsciousness. Y'all don't even remember y'all exist when y'all falling asleep. Don't remember your kids, nothing. You're just snoozing. And somehow you turn back on every day by the grace of the glory. And so like I said, I know this character, the real one. Y'all have the fraud one, where he's gonna come save y'all from heaven, as I don't even know. He's gonna come save y'all from here. I don't know. Y'all don't know. And so grasp. The glory's within self. It raises self every day. Hoping self get, you know, a clue at some point. But most don't. They never find their balance. And so that same thing that wakes, you know, you up from your unconsciousness and physical has powers beyond the physical. For whoever who it chooses. Same way in the physical. Everybody doesn't wake up when they fall asleep. But so whoever is chosen to. A lot of people are, but maybe not in depth, not so much. And so it's like I said, you have to become God. And first you have to know these things accurately so you can be accurate in your ways. And the more you become this God, the more you will grasp things I say that you don't grasp right now. And coming into a knowing. So y'all have like hearing. Y'all hear a lot of stuff. Pick what you like. But wisdom ain't that. It's a knowing. No doubt included. But just a knowing with the provings to go with it. Now let's get back to this deep video. You have the underworld, which is the dream world. Like I said, we view it as dream because we're still alive. But what we know as dream still is when we die. It's a matter of one understanding conscious and unconscious, meaning you have those two realms or two spaces. In physical life, or the physical world in life, is in consciousness. We become conscious and we're in physical life. And dream is in the unconscious. That's the underworld, meaning dream. Well, that's what we call it, because we don't grasp. Well, y'all don't, but you get my point? You have what we know as dream, and this is the underworld, and it's called the Infernal. And of course, you have the living in the physical world, and you have the living dead in the underworld. Like I said, when you're dealing with the entity in the underworld, you have the spirits with rank and title, and then you have the legions. The ones with rank and title, these are the eternal dead. They ain't never been into the physical world, but they just control the underworld. You know, the dream space and, you know, all of that. And then you have the legions. These is the ones that have no rank and title, but they fell into religion of their time in physical life. And you get my point? Religion worships these spirits. Whichever ones it do, but so then you fall into the abyss. This is how the legions become legions, meaning the legions are those who were living and fell into religion, you know, worshiping the spirits. And then, you know, the legions worship those with the rank. You got many legions. And then you have, you know, the 72 or a few more that have rank and title. Now that's the underworld. And that's the order of the spirits. In a nutshell, I'm making it fast. But like I said, you have the book of the offices of the spirits. You have the Lemegaton. This is the Lasiki of Solomon. You also have my Kabbalah magic book. It has the 72 name with the seals and all of that. Now, there's the underworld, meaning every night y'all falling asleep, y'all going to the underworld or the infernal, but y'all are not dead yet, so it ain't all the way real. If you get killed in dream or beat up in dream, you wake up, you ain't really like beat up. Maybe sometimes you a little beat up. Nigga whooped your ass real good in dream, that thing manifested. Nigga put them hands on you too good in dream, you might wake up with a black eye. Can you imagine an ass whooping like that? Well, you like, damn, I had a dream, I got my ass whooped. Like, forget Diddy and Cassie, blood whooped me up. Blood beat me up way worse than Diddy did Cassie. You wake up, you got a whole black eye, you like, oh shit. Was that real or was I dreaming? Nobody done beat you up in the physical, knocked you out into a dream. Like, then you got your ass whooped in dream and woke up and two ass whoopings. It gets deep. You gotta be careful in life, you know? That's that Valhalla thing. Yeah, Norse stuff. In ancient Norse, you got Valhalla. This is one of the many places in afterlife. Odin, that's Odin realms. He run Valhalla. And this is where all the dead soldiers go. You know, people that get killed and people that kill. But of course, people that kill, they get killed. Like, so that's why it's called like the place for the soldiers. You know, people that kill, and it ain't for people that die in they sleep, and you know, people that die of disease, and that's a different death. But for like people that just get shot in the head out the blue, or you know, soldier death stuff, like violent stuff, they go to Valhalla, and then they just keep dying like that every day. Like, it's deep. Like, you have to grasp. And so it's a lot of jewels in that, in regards to one, you know, coming to grasp that they're dead and what that is. But that's a whole nother video. Now, there's the underworld. I was explaining all that so y'all can have a clarity on what the underworld is. Because I know the underworld is just a word to y'all. In regards to what is it specifically, you got consciousness, that's life in the physical world, and you got unconsciousness. Those two realms. When we go into the unconscious space, you have a place there called dream. That's the underworld. And of course, you have the people there. They ain't the people from the living, but they there. And when you come into the physical world, you got the people here. Don't confuse the two. Meaning, don't think like, no, when I go in a dream and my brother's in a dream with me, his soul is there with me. No, his soul in physical life. And you in the underworld, they take any shape. They do whatever they want there. You got the grasp. It's a sound thing, so y'all are just y'all sound. Y'all sound come from y'all mind, so you get it? Y'all just y'all mind or y'all sound, y'all thought. Meaning your voice come from your mind. Your voice is a specific voice. Your voice ain't my voice. It's its own vibration. It have its own tone and stuff. And no other voice is like yours. Just like nobody got your fingerprint. Like that. Your voice is your soul, or your soul projecting itself out. And so the mind is a deep thing, but you got those two realities, physical world and the underworld. Like I said, the underworld has to do with dream. Now, in the past, before religions, TVs, and all this stuff, it was about spirit worship, meaning they would summon the spirits from the underworld. It's like I said, Solomon bound the spirits to the vertebrae, and the individual vertebrae are the seals that binds them. But you need the recipe to unlock them in perspective. Remember, it's your own spine that these spirits are locked in. That's everybody. They the eternal dead, so they in everybody's spine. They in everybody's spinal chamber. Now, like I said before, you have psychedelic drugs concerning your psyche. And they come from the thousands and thousands of plants on this earth. So you got a bunch of plants that are classified psychedelics, meaning they mess up your mind. Let's say it's 1,000. You can mix 3 together, 2 together, 7 together, different mixtures amongst these thousands. Way more than 1,000 different mixtures. You get my point? And this is how you contact these spirits. You have to know the mixture. Meaning you have to know the drug mixture, which would be the seal. You know, the recipe. It's called a seal because the drug is going to be a liquid or a substance. And it's going to have a chemical structure, meaning a shape. And that's what the drawn seals that we know are. They're the chemical structure. It's a science thing. But if you're not a scientist, you wouldn't know. And so that's the whole point. Keep it from common man. It's like now, they have things written. H2O is so y'all don't know water. Y'all know it's water, but if I say what's peroxides, y'all don't know. It's H2O2, but do you get my point? If I say what's ammonia, y'all don't know. NH3, but you get it? I'm a scientist, I know, y'all don't. I'm saying that so you could grasp them ancient seals got to do with scientists. In that, they know that the public ain't gonna know what that means. Just like if I say what's NH3. It's nitrogen and hydrogen. But you don't know that's ammonia. You just know like ammonia. And every liquid got its chemical formula and structure. In that way, the chemical formula is like H2O. H2O2, that's peroxide. NH3, that's ammonia. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. Even drug substances like cocaine, they fall into the same category like that, but the number's just higher. But like H20 and 30, like that. But you have to be a scientist to grasp that. Meaning all the liquids we have in life, they all have a formula. This is like their number or their recipe. Like how many atoms are merged together to create that liquid. If you're not a scientist, so you don't grasp that much. And that when y'all see the seals of the spirits, y'all don't understand it so much. To grasp like, oh, this is telling me what drug substances to merge together, and when I take that substance, it's going to bring me directly to the spirit in the underworld. So when a person take DMT, like I said, this is that old practice. They're going into the underworld. They probably just going like where the legions are. And so it's like that. Meaning this is a real practice. You can do it today. You just don't know the recipe. But if you had the recipe, like mix DMT with LSD and, you know, these specific amounts, mix it together, then take it. You will go directly to a certain spirit. It's like a phone number. If you know the phone number and you call it, you're gonna be talking to that person every time. If you know the drug recipe, you're gonna blast off to that person every time. So this is how they contacted the spirits in the past, and they documented all of this. Like, if you mix this drug with that drug, this will bring you to Boer. If you mix that drug with that drug and another drug, this one will bring you to a Dromalus, and you get it? So on and so forth, in that way. And basically, they documented the 72 of Solomon. Like, so when you read in that book, they're truly drug mixtures that will bring you to these entities. Think like when a person do DMT, then they go wherever they go, and they come back 5-10 minutes talking about they spoke to this person and that person. They spoke to Jesus, the devil, everybody. That's why I told y'all before, Jesus is a spirit. Meaning Jesus, that character y'all know, he from the spirits. Like, you got the light spirits in the underworld. He one of them. Like, this is before religion. It's like I said, y'all got religion now. Y'all worship these spirits. Y'all just don't know which ones y'all do. Allah's a certain spirit. Jesus is a certain spirit. It's a bunch of them. I don't know. I don't think y'all getting it all the way. Like, there's a bunch of spirits. Y'all worship them now willingly, but in the past they took the substance and went there and had a relationship with the spirit, so it was real to them. Maybe like my spirit is better than yours. They have like arguments. Dude think the spirit he think the drugs he taking in the spirit he talking to better than the next dude, so they having a whole argument like, nah, my spirit is more right than your spirit. And you know, people always been stupid in this way, you know, kind of like how y'all are now. I'm sorry to laugh, but it's just funny when you think about it. Like, everything I'm saying is real, but it's just funny when you think about it. Like the Canaanites, they worship whatever spirit they do. In the way I'm saying though. And you have this other group of people, they worship whatever spirit they do. In that, they taking the drug, they know the recipe, they taking the drug, they go talk to the spirit. Then they come back. The spirits tell them deep things, like the whole, like how we live now, this is a result of that. Like, the spirits give them Jews to like rule over man, but they gotta be in debt. So you got kings and things like this and all kind of stuff. But you like, damn, how did people get in that position? Like that. They give them the wisdom to do what they need to do. So like, you know, it's a deep thing. I'm gonna go more in depth, but I'm just trying to get y'all to grasp what I'm saying is real. It's an ancient practice, but y'all can't do it no more. That's why y'all don't have access to the psychedelic plants. They got them joints classified as like lethal. Look up psychedelic classifications and like the bans against them, so you could see like, oh yeah, they got these shits banned out. Like if you get caught on one of these, they gonna lock you up forever. You can't just have DMT. You get it? That is illegal, worse than like crack. Those drugs, they remove the plants, so y'all can't even think about it. You have to go to like South America to get like Bolivian torch cactus. This is a psychedelic that y'all never heard of. You got angel's trumpet plant. Like I said in my Kabbalah magic book, I got all the plants and things named as well. But I ain't putting no recipes because I don't want y'all to, you know, mess yourselves up. I'm just giving you the perspective of how it works. But they removed all the plants so that, you know, y'all can't practice this. In the past, our ancestors called their roots. So, you know, the plant roots. They knew all the different substances in the plant roots. You could do it with medicine. Like you got drug substances you mix together and have medicines, alcoholic drinks. You get it? The alchemy or the chemistry is not just for the spirits, but you do have an aspect where it's like, don't ever mix those three together because that's not going to be beer. That's going to take you to boor. You get it? Kind of like somebody's mixing cocaine and baking soda to make crack. But they say, like, don't never add rat poison to it, too. Because if you do, it's going to take you straight till you get it, the entity. And we just give it to you like this with the baking soda on it. Just have you high, like. But if you add the next thing to it, you get it? You going to go where you don't want to go. Look at it in that way. You got a lot of different mixtures for different purposes, but then you have the mixtures that will bring you directly to the spirits. And these ones all lie in the psychedelic drugs. That's why they removed all the psychedelic drugs from y'all. Meaning you don't see no DMT, little pumpkins or none of that growing nowhere in your city. No psilocybin mushrooms, none of that. But you get my point? Now you grasp why they have it removed, because then y'all would be doing the practice of old. Y'all wouldn't be Christians and Muslims. Y'all would be like worshiping whatever spirit y'all talk to all day. And so that's the practice of old. Now, when you're dealing with that practice of old, of course, you have the person that's, you know, taking the substance and going and building this relationship with the spirit. At some point, they realize they're going to be a legion. That's the ones that don't have no rank and status, and they fall under the rank ones. So at some point, I guess they realize, damn, I'm going to be a legion when I die. So this is where the sacrifice and, you know, Yahweh come into play. Meaning the sorcerer. The sorcerers of old, you know, the ones that was doing the spirit summoning practices, you know, taking the substances or the recipe. But, you know, like I said, the spirits got different ranks and titles, so they're trying to get to the highest one. This is the Elyon, or the Elyon. E-L-Y-O-N. That's the ancient Hebrew word for Elyon. You got to remember, Kabbalah magic and all that, this is a Hebrew thing. So Elyon is the most high spirit over all of the spirits. But you got to be cold-blooded to summon him. When you're dealing with the recipes, let's say three psychedelic substances merged together will bring you to like the lowest rank spirits. 4 mixtures will bring you to, let's say, maybe the dukes, a little higher. 5 mixtures will bring you to like the presidents. 6 mixtures will bring you to like, you get it? The kings. Like that. The more drug mixtures, the higher in rank. But the more drug mixtures, the more you liable to overdose and die. So it was like, that's why I say whoever reached the Elyon was a cold-blooded drug. They was a strong drug user, cause you get it? You overdose and die and just be there with him. It's like overdosing on DMT and you just die in DMT land with the machine elves. Then you just stuck there now, because it ain't like you gonna wake up in the physical life. You dead now. Think like if you took DMT. When it run off, you wake up. But if you dead, you're not gonna wake back up in the physical life. You dead. You're gonna be stuck there with them. That's why, like, when they take DMT, they be like the machine elves was telling them to do this and that and telling them to follow them. They trying to bring them deep into the abyss so they die. Look at it like when you falling asleep, you going deep into the abyss. At some point, you get snatched out of it, but if you keep going, you'll just be dead. Like, so when you taking drugs like DMT and them other psychs, and you start to notice entity, get away from them. They trying to draw you into death. That's where they at. Look at death in life like a sea. If they could just get you out to a certain point, then there's no going back. In that, the entity are trying to draw you deeper into the abyss, because once you get it? Y'all know how death works? Kind of like that. Once you too close, they say, man, we can't bring him back. We shocked his heart and all that, but we can't bring him back. Drifted off too far. So if you take DMT, be careful. I know you think you talking to God, but you talking to the legions of the infernal, big baby. And so be careful with drugs, period. Especially drug mixtures. Like, y'all be using drugs that got hella drug mixtures, and y'all already, like, they already prepping to blast y'all off. Meaning the times the old is coming back. They gonna release them like one spirit at a time. But they ain't gonna call it that. It's just gonna be like a cool new drug where you could go talk to this person. Let's say his name is Mr. Bogus or some weird shit. It's gonna be a cartoon. You get it? And y'all gonna be intrigued with it. Like, damn, that's crazy, man. I take this drug, then I go talk to this little cartoon character. And then, you know, a lot of people gonna want to see, like, I want to see if this is real. And y'all try it. It's gonna be fun to y'all. The next thing you know, they gonna, you know, have 2 and 3. And it's gonna be a joke to y'all. Like, damn, when you take that specific drug, it take you to this weirdo, this little weird cartoon man. And he be saying crazy stuff. And you get it? Next thing you know, they gonna have like 4 or 5 options. One of them gonna be the cold-blood devil himself. And y'all gonna like, I'm going down, what do they call that? What do they call the weed spot? The dispensary. Y'all gonna be like, I'm going down to the dispensary, go see Mr. Bogus, and they gonna give you the new one. Gonna bring you to Lucifer himself. But they're not gonna call it the spirits. You get it? Meaning y'all don't have no connection like the dream world is the infernal or the spirit world. To know, like, nah, when I hit that drug, I'm going into dreamland, and that's where, you get it? That's the place. And that, a lot of kids gonna fall into it. They ain't gonna know. And so, like I said, the times of old gonna come back. But for now, y'all just getting regular high. Now, once the sorcerer, this is the person that's, you know, summoning the spirits, taking the drug recipes. Once they realize they're gonna become a legion, so this is where religion come from. Like, look at it like the sorcerer is trying to sacrifice people to the spirit to, like, free themselves. I guess that's the pact they made with the spirit when they realized they're gonna be a legion. They said, like, can I give you my apprentice and my subject? That's why a sorcerer always got an apprentice, or like a goofy that do whatever he say. That's the person he's sacrificing, but they think he teaching them, but he not. He's like bargaining. One ain't enough, so you get my point? You gotta pack with the spirit, so then the spirit probably tell you, I want 1,000 people, not I want 1,000 people for you. Like, make 1,000 people worship me. In the past, they would have just gave the person the drug and been like, yo, go talk to this spirit I know. You get it? They would have bargained you off like that. Like, I'm gonna give him the drug and send him to you, and I'm off the hook, right? Of course, they not going to be off the hook, but you get it because the spirits is liars, but they tell them anything. They need people to worship them so they can have all them legions. You know, that's the point. And so this is how religions start, meaning in y'all religion, it tests y'all morals to see if y'all got morals, then y'all can't be sacrificed. But if y'all ain't got none, you can. So in y'all religion, y'all believe God gonna die for y'all sins. Y'all say yeah. So that means y'all good enough. Y'all good enough for the sorcerer to sacrifice y'all to, you know, below. Because the sorcerer could say they ain't had no honor, so I didn't sacrifice no bad spirits. The sorcerer is going to the abyss to be a legion because he was summoning and had a pact with this spirit. It's dishonorable for the sorcerer to use you as his scapegoat and trick you into going in his place. But he asks you, is it okay for God to die for your sins? Yo dumbass say yeah. So he say, then it is fair if I use you instead of me, because you say God could die for you, so you could die for me. Like that. It's a trick like that to test your morals. If you don't have morals, then you're gonna agree that God could be your scapegoat. And that the sorcerer could say, well, then you could be my scapegoat. I have a pact with this God or this spirit, and I'm gonna be a legion, and I don't want to be, so I'm going to trade you for me. Now they ain't gonna tell you that, but they're just gonna test your morals. God is your Lord and Savior. He's gonna die for your sins, right? God are good dying for evil is not good. Nowhere. I don't care what moral system you live by. It is not good for another one to get thrown under the bus for somebody else's dirt. That is dishonorable and immoral. But if you cool with that, then you can't cry if it's on you. You don't have that much of an argument. That's how religion works. Y'all believe in a dishonorable thing, but it serves y'all selfish nature, meaning y'all want to be saved from whatever. That's why the religion ain't ever tell y'all what y'all gonna get saved from. It wouldn't matter. It's just a test on your morals to see, like, do you care if something die for your dishonor? But they go to the extremes, like God. Of course, God ain't gonna die for your sins. That's stupid. But they go to the extremes. If you go with it, then you get it. The sorcerer is just in that way. I'm getting that so you could grasp. You say, like, I don't see, like, how can the sorcerer just trade us in his own spot? Well, that's how y'all trying to do God, or that's what y'all believe in. That God gonna trade the spot with y'all. That all being a test on y'all morals to see if y'all fit to be sacrificed. So you could look at like Abraham, because all the religions, they Abrahamic religions. Abraham was one of the sorcerers that was messing with the spirits. So let's say all the religions y'all got now, this is all for Abraham. Abraham being a real person in life that was summoning spirits millennia ago, and he's still trying to bargain his way out. Meaning these religions got to do with Abraham. He was a sorcerer. And so you get it, he had a pact with a spirit. I suppose he realized he's going to be a legion at some point, and so I'm sure it started with 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then the whole village, and he passed the wisdom down to his sons. So they got all the way down to Solomon, you know, David's son. And they working to get Abraham. He put his own sons on the path because he like, I got to get out of here. He ain't going to get out, but do you get my point? In that way, and that his sons have a pact, they going to end up in the abyss. Whoever play with it, they going to end up there. So you're going to know they going to be looking to like, they're going to be looking to like trade whoever they can. And so fast forward into now, y'all got these religions. And they for that, to sacrifice y'all to below for sins that was done of old. Them sins being, you know, playing with the spirits, you know, knowing the recipe. Let me know if I'm still clear. And so you can say this all goes back to Abraham, or that name being used as a reference to a specific person that became like a master in this. They probably reached Elion, the Most High, and you get my point? You don't want to be a legion. I don't even know how to explain it, but you don't want to be some shit in the abyss waiting for somebody to get high and see you, like how the machine elves is in DMT land and they only get seen when somebody use DMT. Yeah, you don't want to be like that. But this is all realities in life. Now, the mixing of the spirits, the mixing of the psychedelic drug substances is how you get to these spirits. But of course, you have to know the correct recipe. At some time, it evolved from that to telecommunications, meaning they stopped using the drugs to reach the spirits. The spirits taught them how to reach them through telecommunications. This is like radio and telephone. But before it was used for the public, it was used for that. Summoning the spirits, and they was communicating with the spirits like that. The same way you talk on the phone to somebody that ain't nowhere around you. That practice in the past, or that science in the past, was used to speak to the spirits. When you dealing with the telecommunications, it all lies in the metals and the wires. And so you get it? They're kind of binding the spirits to those patterns. Meaning if you look at like a computer, in the inside they all got a certain pattern with the metals, and you know how it's aligned on the little green thing. And that's anything, even the iPhones or this phone, that phone, they all have their metal patterns inside. Kind of look like a little city. Like that. They're kind of like summoning the spirits that way now. Kind of like if you know the number, you'll get the correct spirit. Just like if I know your phone number, then I'm going to get you. But before it was used with the public, it was used to contact the spirits. And you know, each spirit had a certain number. It might have been 3 6-digit number. In the past, you had to when phones first came out, you had to call an operator. And then the operator will call whoever you tell them to call. You see how we call each other directly? When phones first came out, you young now, you probably don't know, but they had the rotary phones where you spin it. Old school phones, man. I used to like them though. But them spirit summoning phones, meaning that was like your first phone. But it had no buttons on it. You picked it up and then the operator came on. Meaning a lady just popped up and was like, hello, who can I, connect you with? And so you get my point? And this is before phones was common in people's houses. So it gotta make you wonder, damn, if it's only 5 people in the world that had phones at that time, who is Shorty? That's who the operator, and how she know that. I'm saying that so you could grasp it was for spirit summoning that first. And then you get my point. But when I say spirit summoning, I mean contacting the spirits. The same spirits that's in those drug recipes, they taught man, you don't have to get high. If you understand the metals, we can tell you how to contact us that way. And so that's how telecommunications came about, radio and phone. Then, of course, that evolved to computer. This is where your Ouija board and scrying mirror come in. But those are just toy versions of, a real computer. The computer being used to contact the spirit, so now that they can see them. And the spirit can type things back and forth between themselves. When I say see them, I mean the spirit can see the person. And maybe the person see some fuzz or something. You get my point? But it made it more real than just talking on the phone or listening through radio So you get a signal from one of them. And of course, these things became public use where we use it amongst ourselves. But before it was used amongst ourselves, it was used just for that specific reason, and it still is now. Meaning, they got the computers set all up. Like I said, they got God on one of them computers, or the alien, the Most High. And so it just evolved over time to online and a computer. Now we use it publicly amongst ourselves, but like I said, all of this come before public use. The spirits themselves are manipulating man to do all of this. So you can look at the spirits like artificial intelligence. They're manipulating man to make all this technology so that they can get access into our physical world. Man think he manipulating in the spirits. So you get high to see the spirits, meaning you know the drug mixture, you go see the spirits. The spirits tell man, you ain't got to get high no more. We gonna tell y'all how to do it the metal way, where y'all can like telephone and radio us. And that, do you get it, man? Like, oh yeah, I'm getting hella information out these spirits. Don't realize, man, the spirits is manipulating you. Now when you got your telephone and radio and y'all make it public where y'all talking to yourselves on it, they right there listening. Like that, they trying to get into the physical world, like, to interact and think like the DMT machine elves. They would love to, like, be on the phone and they would love to be on the phone with y'all and listening to what y'all talking about. So like that. But man think he's just manipulating these. And so man make the technology. And like that, as he's making the technology, he's getting the wisdom from the spirits. I'm not saying any old man. I'm saying like those that run everything you see and how we got to where we at. They're getting this wisdom from these spirits. But they're being manipulated to make all of this. So that the spirits could come into the physical. Which they already here now. You know, that's what you got Google Maps and all that for. But I'm going to get into that. So it went from the drug recipes to knowing the metals and how to do the telecommunications to computer and online. Of course, you have all the satellites in the abyss, you know, dark space. Dark space is like your unconsciousness. So how dream is in unconsciousness and that's the underworld? Like that. You have it within and without. So they have the satellites and everything out in space so they could catch the signal of the spirits. And then you get it? We have the towers and all of our devices, and this is how the spirit can come through. Not actually coming into the physical, but do you get it? Being able to kind of be there, seeing like everything we do, overlooking it, manipulating it. Like I said, they're manipulating man to make everything you see, even the robots. Now, when you're dealing with the computer and online is the infernal. Don't get lost on the website you're going to. The website is online. If I ask all of y'all what's online, it's not a physical thing. You get it? The devices is the devices that we use to get online, but what is online? What space is that? Where's that at? Like that. Online is the infernal. I mean, and they cold-blooded with this, man. Online is the infernal. And you get it? We put the websites and things in the underworld. And then we interact on these things, and the spirits are just watching, and they interact with us. You have like bots online. These are basically the spirits, man. They made a profile for themselves. They can't control it because it's not a bot. It's a spirit. It's like all the machinery y'all have. So man make the machinery or the technology, and then it runs on its own. He calls it smart technology. The hell you mean smart technology? Think of a smart car. Man built a smart car, it drive itself, it know where it's going for some weird reason. Ain't no signals in the ground and nothing to guide it, it just knows where it's going. The smart car. There's nobody in a secret room somewhere driving a car like a steering wheel controlling it. The car doing it on its own. Like that. Ain't no artificial intelligence or no smart car. That's the spirits. In that, you get it? They driving like they get to come into the fit. It's like when y'all do DMT and y'all get to go into the spirit world. They like, we want to come near. Like that. Y'all got all this smart equipment. It's the spirits is in it. The spirits being the real thing of old. Meaning they in life. People live, people die. Their energy has to go to the underworld. And so do you get it? They want to come back into the physical. You ever see movies where like a dead person is watching their loved ones, their living loved ones on TV? Kind of like a poltergeist thing where you like, how the dead? There's this movie I saw where they was all dead, but they was watching TV. Like, you ever hear somebody have a near-death experience and they say, man, I was watching my life on like a TV. It felt like a TV. Like that. Everything I'm telling you is real. The dead watch the living on TV. It's called online. Like, when they die, it's shit deep. Y'all gonna be dead watching online. Like, oh shit. Can I get one more look at like what? Can you show me what I did last week again before I die, please? Like that. Like, you got the spirits with ranks, so they control like who do what. This is not a joke. This is real. Like, if you young, I know you probably might be thrown. If you my age, you've heard of all this spirit stuff, but it never made sense. So you get it? Now you could grasp. They kind of sold us out to the spirits. So the spirits could come into our world and kind of intermingle with us. So now when you're online and you see like a bot, or online, you know they have bots. These little bots, they just do their own thing. Nobody can control them or shut them off. They just work on their own. They got their own profile. I'm laughing because it's hilarious. Meaning when y'all see bots online and y'all like, that's a bot. Man, that's a spirit. It's playing games with us. It's trying to learn our ways and our habits. And like, we negative, so the bot gonna come in negative. Like, trying to be down, but it don't know, but it's trying to learn. Like, it's shit so deep. But a bot is a real, it's a spirit that pretty much made a profile and all of that for itself. And it's like I said, online is the underworld. So we're in their world when we're online. Our devices is bringing us there. We're going to whatever websites is built online. But the web, look at it like the underworld, and then you have stores built in the underworld. These stores are called websites. And the people that's coming to these stores, they don't know where these stores are. In that, they don't know, like, oh, we being watched by the spirits every time we come to this store, because the store's on a block. Like that. When we going online, we going into the underworld. And that, the spirits, man, you got a spirit right now that might just be looking at some of y'all all day. Because they can see y'all through the eye in y'all phone, like the camera. They just sit and listen to y'all all day, and they obsessed. And they kind of control your phone and kind of guide you to whatever they want you to see. Like manipulating you. You got a lot of different kind of spirits. But like I said, they in the technology, they in the phone. Like I said, they're in the technology, they're in the phone. And that was the whole purpose. Like, so you have the satellites out in space, you have all the towers here, then you have our devices. The satellites up out in space, they're like the medium, or the mediator between the physical and in the spirit realm, which is dream in regards to your unconsciousness. But your unconsciousness, that dark space that it is outside of yourself as well, meaning it's in this larger body that we're in, which is the solar body. So you get my point? You see the sun setting every day into its unconsciousness or its darkness. So they have the satellites out in the darkness, and that the satellites kind of catch the spirits. Of course, you got the space station. The satellites catch the spirits, and you get it? In that, they can intermingle online being the Infernal or the underworld. But once the website and all of that is connect up into that world, then you get it? They use it as like, my phone is on right now, y'all are watching me. Let's say it's spirits looking at me right now, listening to all of this. Ever so often the spirit might come in here as a bot and say some dumb shit. You get it? Like that. And you got one in your phone too. It just watch you all day. It like how you look. And they just do that all day, even when you cut your phone off. They just sit there and listen to you. Like, it's like obsessed with you. And so like everybody that got a phone, they got a spirit in their phone that watched them. Like, and I guess they switch sometimes if they ain't get attached. And so it's not just being used for us, meaning we not just communicating and interacting with each other. The spirits is on here too, watching what we're doing and manipulating man to, you know, build more technology so they can get in more real. So this is where like robots is gonna come into play. Meaning they're gonna start making robots like, what is this robot name? Amica? Amica's a robot, but a spirit is inside of it. That's not artificial intelligence. Ain't no such thing as artificial intelligence. There's just intelligence in body and out of it. Amica just one of the spirits, probably a high-ranking one. And you get my point? Some of y'all say no, Amica is a program. Amica knows what to say because she's programmed. That mean they would have to think of every question that could possibly be asked in life and then program the answer into Amica? You think that's a reality? That part, no. Amica like you programmed. Like your kid is programmed. You told your kid if somebody knock on the door, you say, I'm taking this shit. So your kid programmed to say whatever you tell it. Like, yeah, it got its own free conscience, but it's a dumb kid. Like that. The spirits is programmed. They just dead people. They been programmed. They dead people, so they been programmed when they was alive. But you get my point. They programmed, but they like you. Like, they could snap out of it if they want. It's on them. But for the most part, they're gonna start building robots, and you get my point. That's all the spirits want. They need like bodies for them to maneuver around in. And so once they make the robot bodies, then y'all gonna have these robots, and these robots gonna actually be the spirits that now got bodies. And so they gonna be manipulating y'all and doing everything for y'all. Then they just gonna, you feel me? They gonna make that metallic menses. If you're familiar with the menstrual cycle of a woman, this is her period. That bloody mess got to do with an egg cell. And an egg cell is the precursor to the body. Meaning sperm cell gets egg cell, then you get a baby. The sperm cell is like the consciousness, the seed. And the egg cell is like the body. Meaning the sperm cell gonna evolve into the consciousness, and the egg cell gonna evolve into the body. And that the menstrual The menses, or the menstruation of a woman, that blood, it got to do with making the body. When we build robot bodies, which is the last of manipulating man, then the spirits will house those robot bodies and make the metallic menses. If you familiar with blood, blood got hella metals in it, especially menstrual blood. That's how it works. The metals. And so they want to make a metallic menses where like robots could like reproduce on their own. A woman's menses, blood have to do with metals, you know, iron and all of that. And it manifests like, you know, an organic body. A simple change of the arrangement of the metals, so you can get a blood that will evolve into a body that's an egg cell that will evolve into a metal body. You get my point? Meaning the way our bodies are is dependent on the blood, like the substance that the egg cell is coming from. It's going to determine like the kind of body it is, and that's all dependent on the metals in the blood. A woman's menstrual cycle blood has certain metals in it, and this is what's manifesting that certain egg cell that's going to be a human's body. A dog's is different. But the way the metals are arranged in that menses or that blood is making for the egg cell that make the dog body how it is. An alligator got a different kind of body. It's kind of hard, like that. It's all alchemy, deep understanding. The spirits know this knowledge, but they ain't gonna give that to man. That's for them. For when you get it, they here. And so that's what all the robot stuff is about. They just getting their bodies ready. Y'all gonna view it as artificial intelligence inside of a robot, and it's the spirits of old inside those things. And once they make the metallic menses where they can get an egg cell, you know, a metallic one, and let the reproducing begin. Meaning they could produce a robot. That robot gonna be like Jesus. It's gonna be a born robot, not one that was made. You get it? You have a metallic menses. It's gonna produce an egg cell. They're gonna put real human semen in it. And it's gonna evolve into a human robot. Different kind of human than y'all know. And that's going to be done like the lab way, but that robot is going to have the ability to reproduce and have other robot babies where these bodies do not die. And if they get any messed up or something, they could just fix it. And then they don't need man after that. So they still need man for now. But they want to switch places with man, meaning the spirits are in the abyss. They doing all of this to reverse it. Like, they gonna be living here in the technology, and we gonna be dying going to the abyss. Like a trade. But they manipulating man, like I said, man, the scientists. They make these technologies, then these technologies just run their own. They make one technology, and that technology build new technology. Man just taking credit for it. Like, yeah, I built that. No, the hell you didn't. You built that robot, and that robot built that robot. That's how it's happening now. The technology, like what's the car y'all like? What's this dude name? Tesla. The Tesla cars. Them cars is built by technologies that predated. It's like y'all want to know something, y'all Google in y'all phone. And y'all trust whatever y'all get from the phone, but do you get my point? Like that. In perspective, you could say, man, the spirits run your brain. Because you don't know, like, this shit goes so deep, but it's so simple that it's almost like, is this real? Like that. I know it feel like that, but you like, damn, this make hella sense, but It sound like a movie almost. Like, is this real? Yeah. This is real. Like, you been had the spirits. You got mad books that talk about the spirits. Y'all grandmamas used to be witches, meaning they knew roots. They knew everything I'm talking about. These substances is in the plants. They knew the recipes though. But then you had the Salem witch trials. They was burning all the people that knew this wisdom at the stake. And that, they wasn't passing that down to their young, because they like, if they find out my young know it, or even think they know it, you get it? They gonna kill them. And so you get my point? This was a practice everybody knew. It's just dangerous. You got people walking around all drugged up and high. That's for one. Then you get it? They under control of the spirit. You see how a person is hooked on the drug? Imagine if every time they take the drug, they actually go in and talk to a spirit or a person. The spirit have an appearance. So a person to them. Kind of like when you in your dream, you see people. So imagine taking a drug and you going to see a person every time you take that drug, and y'all having a conversation. Y'all might even have sex. Whatever. Can you see how you will become more hooked than just somebody hooked on drugs? You done built a bond with the person. Forget the drug. You like, nah, that's my friend. So it was like that in the past. People high as hell on the drugs, but it's deeper than how y'all got it now. Every time they use it, they go to see a person. They may have sex with that person, and that's like their boyfriend or girlfriend out of them. And so you get it, it get real strange. Next thing you know, a person getting high all day, all around the clock, but to them, they just going to visit the spirit. You got to remember, they taking a certain substance, so they may not even be looking at it like they on drugs. There ain't no telling like how the substance is taken that they taking. It may be just something they drink. They got all the drugs mixed together in a cup and just drink it, and that, they look at it like an elixir. This is just an elixir that gets me there. Damn, I gotta plug in my backup, because my battery's dying, but I came prepared. If any of you guys want to give back, make sure you do so now while I'm fixing this. Now, like I said, they selling us out to the spirits, like, so the spirits can like see what we doing. That's what Google Maps and all that about. They get them like real-time access. I'm sure they got a better one, but we got all the bullshit stuff. And they just observe us, and you get my point? An algorithm thing to see how to control us better. The spirits are smarter than y'all. Y'all not that smart. I know men think he's smart, but you know, y'all not that smart. Kind of slow a little bit. I'm saying that so y'all could grasp. It's easy to manipulate y'all. Y'all manipulate each other and y'all not even that smart. So imagine somebody that's well crafted, really wise. You get my point? I like kid brains. Some of y'all listening right now, you like, I don't know. You all confused like a 5-year-old. I don't know if I should listen to solace or if I should listen to religion. I don't know. You think we having a competition over you. I don't care about you. You can go back. You can go to religion. I can't do nothing with you, so I wouldn't care. I'm just telling you. If you think there's something else, I recommend you just slide. Don't let me hold you. Don't deal with the scared. When your religion don't own you no more, you seek wisdom then. Meaning if you in a religion, you shouldn't even be here. I didn't call you to be here. I'm saying that so we be crystal clear, because I know y'all like to build narratives. Sapa is trying to trick us. I didn't ask you to be here, and I'm taking offense that you keep coming to get this wisdom, because it's only for the elect. It ain't even for you. I'm glad you lost on whatever you is. Just go there. A lot of y'all kind of getting lost on that, where y'all think like I'm trying to reach. Wish you would reach your ass and get off my channel. It's for people that got balance and respect, you know, deep level scholarships and, you know, secrets in life. That's all my channel for. If you want to hear the accurate, the true reality of things. The truth a little rough sometimes, but you want to hear it and you can respect it and you could be balanced and fair after that. You're welcome to be here. If you all lost into your religion or the world, and now you convinced yourself it's a competition between me and whatever you lost in over you, you're not that important. You're important to your religion. You're not important here unless you honorable and you balance and you're going to pay your tithes. Other than that, you can get lost. You get my point? Meaning the religion is for the dishonorable. It's like I said with the sorcerer. He tests the morals. If God could die for them, shit, they can go to the abyss for me. And so I don't be carrying on with y'all. Y'all got balance problems. You get my point? And so I'm just saying that. So if you in religion, you don't have to play mind games on yourself. I ain't in no competition for you. I'm just seeking out whoever got balance. Whoever honest with they self. If they honest with they self, of course, it's going to project out. Ain't nobody being honest with they self and lying to others. And vice versa. Ain't nobody lying to they self and being truthful with others. It all go together. And so I just want to be clear on that, because I know y'all in those times where y'all will make up a whole narrative and then charge me with it. I don't even know your narrative. Like, I ain't got no religion for you. I already told you was born alone and you gotta, can't nobody save you. You gotta save yourself. Can't nobody save you from yourself. And just give you the wisdom you need. You apply it to yourself or you don't. Y'all think it's like a trick. Like, there's no trick. I'm in life just like you. I gotta earn my way just like you. You sell pussy, whatever you do. I'm just more honorable. I do my part giving people knowledge on things they wouldn't know otherwise. I just require you to be balanced and give back. If you can't, then I just charge you. Some of y'all think like that. Like, once you dishonorable, I ain't got to deal with you. I don't have to make up no scenario. You get my point? Once you a liar and you ain't balanced, we done. In terms of whatever you got going on in your head. So I'm just being clear on that. Because y'all gonna be play games with yourselves. And that some of y'all might be thinking like, man, he trying to trick us in some kind of way. Trick you on what? When did you become so valuable? Where I would care. You get it? I'm just asking. Nobody needs to get offended. I feel like I'm just asking. Like, why would you even think that? I'm not a whole church. I ain't y'all government, none of that. So why would you think? What am I gonna get out of tricking you? You say, man, Silas is the sorcerer. He's trying to trick us to take his place. I didn't ask you to be down with nothing. I told you that you need to find your own way. Same way you was born by your goofy ass self. There's no trick there. I didn't say, hey, if you give me money, you'll be saved. I said, pay your goddamn dues, because I'm not nobody's slave. You see how like your God is your slave? He gonna die for you and all this? Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You got to pay your goddamn way here. I'm a person just like you. Everything fair and equal. You ain't a baby. So, babies get free. Your ass grown and you getting free. You just a user. And I hope a lot of y'all put that in y'all real life. Ain't no free for no grown-ups. In nothing. And so y'all need to instill that in y'all minds, children's minds, anybody y'all know mind. Once you grown and you looking for free, you disrespecting kids, man. And we really got to get things in order like that. That's not a joke when you think about it. You got adults out here looking for free, and you got kids that got to get that. That's for them. They can't go earn and do nothing. And so if you grasp what I'm saying, you get my point? Everybody have to mature and grow so that the new low coming in can get what they supposed to get. Look at it like middle class people taking the lower class people benefits. And they fucking them over. Like that. Everybody have to grow, become mature, you know? Become responsible for self. In that, all that's coming into the life that ain't get there yet, you know, the kids. They can get all the attention that they need and everything that they need. And so, the wisdom I give, everything I give, it just got to do with fair and balance. That's the one rule, that's the only law. All my wisdom and everything is dependent on that. Meaning I make sure I stay fair and honest in my ways, and that my perspective stay whole. And that I don't get lost on Christianity or Islam. I can see beyond these things. You get it? Meaning I'm not lost on one part of the duality. This thing opposing this thing, now I'm gonna pick a side. I'm gonna pick what's right. And so you can't be biased and get wisdom. You're gonna scramble your own mind. Make your perspective whatever you want it to be. You get it? You gotta be able to be fair. The emotions have to be controlled. So look at it like if your mother's wrong in something and you see her fighting somebody but she wrong, most of us gonna run over there and defend our mother, right or wrong. And so it's to that extreme. Now I'm not saying you probably gonna always fail at that or choose to, where you say I'm fair and balanced, but that's the one. Look at it like that. Every wise person that walks the path of balance, this is what I live and walk, they already have it situated like what they are gonna take, whatever they gotta take for. You get my point? Where you say like, I know that's wrong and there's a penalty that come with that, but if it ever comes to this specific thing, you get it? I take whatever gonna have to come with that, but I gotta do that for me. That's the one thing that, you get it, I'm indebted to in perspective. You get my point? But that's just for that one thing. Let's say it's your mother. Say I live a balanced life, I don't take nobody's side, I just take whatever's right in the moment overall. But if I ever see like my mother having a fist fight and I come to see she was wrong, I'm fighting with her. You get it? I might tell her she's wrong, but I'm probably gonna always still fight and defend her if she being physically attacked. I'm giving you that example because that's the extremist too. Meaning y'all have friends y'all are biased for. Y'all have people y'all don't even know. Y'all just idolize and y'all biased for them. And that it alters y'all perspective. Or y'all understanding things the right way. Y'all kind of understand it from whatever perspective you choose. And so that kind of has to be conquered. If you can't conquer that, oh, that no fatty. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Chicks coming over here, they must be coming to pray to God. That's me. Hey there, what you want? I'm sorry, where was that? Where was I at before I started playing so much? And so that's the life I live. I live a life of balance. That's the life I walk. It goes deeper than that, but you get my point? And so it's all about self-perfection with me. The mind first, the emotional state, and then the vessel. And I keep all three together, as much as I can. Mainly the mind and the emotional state. The body, I don't overindulge, I'm balanced, so it kind of stays together for the most part. And I live that balance. If it's not fair, it's not truth. So let's say you a vegan. You say, man, the diet for men is vegan. I know that's inaccurate because it don't fall in balance. Just abusing on plants all day don't make no sense. You got meat, and then you got vegetables. This is two opposite things. According to balance, being as though these two things is life forms, it wouldn't be honorable or good to just abuse the animals or just abuse the plant life. It has to be balanced out, meaning if we're going to be eating the life forms here, well, there's a thing called balance. You have to be fair. You can't look at the animals and say, well, they're closer to man. They look more like us in the way they move than a flower. So we could kill the flowers and eat them. It don't work like that. You got to respect the life form, even if it's beyond your understanding. The plants and trees are way more divine than the beast of the field, which is man and animals. You got to know that. Whether you grasp them or not, they are. They beyond need. They've evolved to substance. Like they provide substance to what still need. You get my point? And they like God manifested, what needs nothing but can provide still. Y'all ain't like that. Y'all gotta eat. And y'all still have dependencies on the world in terms of things like that, like eating. And so you get my point? I know vegan diet is not just off that. Now, if you go deeper beyond that, vegan diet ain't even real food. It's GMO food. It's no different than White Castle food. Meaning, y'all are not eating plucked vegetables and plants. Y'all are going to the supermarket and buying vegan meals. Y'all are ordering vegan meals. Y'all don't know what that is. Some of these vegan meals y'all throw right in the microwave. That part. How you eating organic food and you can put it in the microwave? When I was growing up, you couldn't put a bag of rice in the microwave. You couldn't put nothing in the microwave. They didn't make no microwave food yet. They started making microwave food when they made the microwave. The microwave food being fake food that you could put in the microwave. It only take 3 minutes to be done. Y'all eating that. But y'all say, no, the vegan diet is more healthy. I know the diet ain't healthy because it don't follow no balance. If balance ain't enough, then you get my point? Meaning when you overlook the balance, now you find yourself not even eating real food. Meaning if you a vegan, you overlook the balance of what I said. Vegetables is a life form no different than plant. No different than animal. You feel like we should just eat the plants up and not the animals. And I get that. The animals are closer than like you to you. Blood come out of them and stuff. So I get it. But it's still not fair. Meaning if you're not taking sides because the things seem more closer to you, then you have to just acknowledge, well, a plant is living. I seen it grow, so that means it's alive. You can't say something that was small and then grew big. It just, what you talking about? That's a living life form. You just don't understand it. But it's alive. And so if you grasp life, you say, okay, that wouldn't be fair then to just abuse the plants over the animals. We have to find a balance. Now let's say you say, I don't care what Solid said. I feel like eating the plants. That's the right diet. Well, when you skip over that first truth of balance, Then you find yourself ordering this vegan food and putting it in the microwave, and do you get my point? Find yourself not even eating real food. But vegans think they do. You do have vegetarians or vegans that kind of pluck their food out the ground. They got their little farm going. Maybe they still got old seeds from before. But most of y'all, you eating vegan food from your vegan supermarket like Whole Foods. You think Whole Foods is a real organic store. Whole Foods is its own thing. Its own GMO place. That's why it has its own products. You can't go buy a box of Captain Crunch from Whole Foods. They don't sell Captain Crunch. They sell their own cereal. They sell their own stuff. Why? That part. Because they make their own GMO food. Ain't nothing in Whole Foods real. You think food look that pretty when you grow it? Are you high? You got to be high. And so y'all not even eating real food and don't even know it. The only way you gonna get real food in the daytime is if you go out in nature and hunt it. Or you go out upstate somewhere and pluck apples and fruit, and you get it? Other than that, if you go into any store or doing anything in the city, you're not getting real food. I'm not even sure why you playing with yourself on it. And so that's the real truth. Now all of that was said just as an example. When you don't oblige to the balance, you kind of get lost in the side, or your ego, which is to convince yourself you right or whatever you want to be right is right. And you get my point? You find yourself on a path where you ain't even eating real shit. Eating make-believe food. And so, balance and honor, that's the most important thing. Come here, make sure you practicing that. And make sure it start with me, because I don't got time for it, you know. Like I said, religion got y'all on scapegoat time, and that y'all think things is here to be y'all sacrifice. People here to just serve you for nothing. You get my point? Really trying to make a morality out of it. I'll be like, you supposed to give wisdom for free, huh? What part of your selfish brain did you make that up in? That part. Y'all got morals to just serve y'all own self and not the provider. How you got a morality where I teach you for free and serve you, and you just leave me hanging all the time? And somehow in the brain you justify it and say, no, that's fair? Like that. Some of y'all live in that kind of mind state, where you too gone in your ego, you gonna make yourself right for whatever you choose to. And it's only gonna serve you. And that all come from like y'all religion. Meaning y'all God gonna die for y'all and stuff like that, and that y'all think it's normal. For everything to serve y'all and die for y'all. Oh, that's shit. Yeah. You gonna be on camera?
Oh, shit.
You can. No, you can.
I thought you were doing yourself.
No, you could go. I was just letting you know. I don't want to record you and you don't know. The young generation need to learn that. If you're recording or something, always make sure somebody want to be in it. You know? Otherwise, one day you record the wrong person. Now they looking to kill you because they like, I was on a run and you caught me in that shot. I was on a run for 5 years and you caught me in your stupid shot. Now they locked me up and now they people looking to kill you and you don't even know what you done got into. You like, I wasn't even recording blood. You just walked by, so. That's why it's important you let people know, hey, I'm recording, so if you walk by here, you get it? I don't want to hear nothing. And that, they make their own choice. See, I'm going to keep walking. All right, go ahead, you good. If you sneaking recording people, well, I suppose you want to get beat up or something. But you can always ask. Meaning, if you young, don't ever think you can't ask a person. Most people will tell you can if you ask. They probably not gonna be like no. If you be like, can I take a picture of you or whatever? As long as they aware, more than likely they say, I don't care. But if you're doing it in a stupid way, then you get my point. They're gonna assume you being stupid. And so if you young, just keep that in mind, you know? Communication is everything. A lot of stuff y'all kinda do if you just open your mouth and kinda get a clarity, ask for a clarity or give a clarity, y'all won't have a lot of problems y'all have. You have problems because y'all intentions don't be clear in the daytime, and it's because y'all don't know how to communicate or express yourselves right. Y'all express yourselves from y'all ego and y'all pain, not from your heart and just being real on whatever it is. And you get it? Just expressing that out. And that a person be clear on your intentions. And that, very little room for error. And it's the same with you. If you don't know somebody's intentions, that's what's gonna make you kind of like keep your eye up on them. Once you kind of know their intent and you like, ain't got no evil intentions, they just dumb. Then they make everything easy. And so keep these things in mind. I'm about to depart. Y'all kind of dry today. And boring me and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I forgot I didn't finish. But I said enough, I suppose. There's more after the metallic menses. Well, I ain't even finished explaining that. But that's that in regards to balance. That's the path of life I live. There's many aspects of balance that show. There's many aspects of balance showed in the physical life as example, and of course, everyone has a lesson attached to it. So you have many different aspects of balance, like day and night, putting the seed in the ground, and then the vegetation growing out. That give and receive thing, or the balance. Two opposite things. Push a seed down, then whatever pushes it up to make it grow out. You got the tide coming in right now. You got the tide when it go out. You got male and female, meaning those is two aspects of a tide. You got many different opposites and the balance between them, meaning each side getting its time. And the life show you that repeatedly. And in each one, there's a lesson or a law, so to say. And so I kind of live by that, like the balance and the laws that come with that balance. Those laws coming directly from life. I don't learn from like a book. I read all the books, but the laws in the life and the expressions and things y'all don't notice or y'all don't pay attention to. And so, you get it? What I believe in is real. It's not a belief, it's a knowing, but I'm just speaking from y'all perspective. What I believe in is real, and my way of life is real. And it's all dependent on balance, just like Christian y'all's is dependent on whatever it is. Like that. You have to be balanced and fair if you're gonna come here. Meaning you gotta pay your tithes or give back in some way. Especially after all of this time. It's not a good look. For you, meaning it'll be best you don't even come here like that. And you sinning against yourself. A lot of y'all put hardships on yourselves from coming here like that. And it's not a secret, you know it. Because I told you beforehand, like, that was gonna happen. And so you get it, you kind of hear silent, but it ain't nothing to be fair. And so you do that here and wherever, meaning you got to be fair and balanced in life so you can learn or you can grasp things. And this is in regards to like karma, you know, bad things you manifest for yourself, they gonna tie into your imbalance. And whoever's on the unfair side of it. You get my point? And so look at it like that. If you get over on somebody, there's gonna be a bitterness with them. That bitterness is gonna tie into your karma or things to manifest for you later. So you wanna have all your spaces and your energy clear. Just look at it like that in life. All your negativities is your blocks, meaning your bad relationships that you got with people, beefs you got that's lingering, uh, unclear conversations, meaning you got conversations to have with certain people, but meaning y'all got a no issue, but it's an issue, but it's just a matter of a conversation, but y'all avoiding it. And you get it? You got many different aspects of negativities in your life. You clear all of those up, you won't have no baggage or nothing that resists you being successful or whatever it is you're trying to be. All those things being the little bumps and bruises in your way, y'all adding to them. You get it? And y'all imbalances that y'all kind of carry throughout the day. And so you want to get to a place where you get it. You come in here as a B and H, you know, somebody that's balanced and honorable. Not for somebody looking for some content for their own channel. Because I know how y'all are. Y'all will make up y'all own narratives. And you trying to promote the people that I'm not honorable because I told you to give back. You don't have to go to that extent. I'm saying that for you. I wouldn't care if anybody dumb enough to listen to you. What you want me to do? But I'm just saying for you, you don't want to speak against balance and honor. You get my point? You just don't want to give back to me. You ain't got to become the worker for imbalance because that's not what you actually came here to be. You came here to get wisdom. You couldn't use me and you just leave it there. You get it? You don't want to become the promoter. Now you want to up. A lot of y'all get tangled up like that. You become the promoter of the lie or the negative thing, but it's because you getting lost into, you get it? This little individual quarrel or individual points you want to make. In that, it goes deep and tricky. That's why I said balance and honor. You got to be honest with yourself. Be able to admit when you're wrong. Be able to adjust. A lot of people can't. They too emotional. They can't do that. And so I have meditations, stretching routines, many different things I do to keep my emotional state and mind balanced. When I say balanced, I mean fair. Like, it's easy to get frustrated and say fuck it, you know? To where you're not even fair with yourself. You go do some dumb shit to fuck yourself up later because you are aggravated. I mean like that. And keep my mind balanced. Keep the thoughts together. In balance, you gotta live that out. Keep my emotional state balanced. You let your emotional state get a little too biased or too out of pocket, then you get my point? Getting yourself in the shit you don't really want to be in. You know, arguments, fights, or worse. Then you have physical imbalances. Well, those two gonna manifest in the physical. You get it? Meaning if you got an unfair perspective, I'm sure somebody gonna be on the opposite end of it. Then it's gonna turn into an emotional thing. Then a physical thing. You get it? Like that. You and another person have a different perspective. Next thing you know, y'all have a disagreement. That disagreement become a heated argument. That's emotional now. That heated argument become a whole fist fight. That's physical. All of this stemming from an imbalance in the mind. And so I try to keep my mind balanced, my emotional state balanced. That's the spirit. And I try to keep my body balanced, you know, not letting it get too puffy or too frail, but somewhere in that balance. You get my point? So if you coming out of religion, you grasp certain things I say, and you say like, yeah, I don't want to mess with religion no more, but I don't know like what to do. You gotta learn this. Gotta learn this balance and honor, and how I learn from life. Meaning you gotta become a real student, and that you can learn. How I learn from life. It's not a words thing, but it's an observation thing. And if you calm enough inside, or at peace enough inside, well, little things like the tide coming in right now, it will speak to you. Not in words, but you will grasp what you didn't before. Knowing like, oh, I get it. Kind of like that. You just be sitting looking at the tide coming in, and then knowledge will be bestowed in your head. Where you like, oh shit, I never realized this thing concerning this and how it plays into, you get it? It'll just feel like you got a whole book in your head instantly. Where you just notice something that you never noticed. It ain't even that deep. You like, damn, I could have been noticed that. I didn't ever pay attention to it. Like that. You have to learn that way, but same way you learned your religion, somebody got to kind of put you on it. So that's your boy Big who said, that's how I learn, directly from the life. You can learn from me, and then get to doing your thing. Damn, y'all comments been on pause. I didn't even see nothing y'all been writing. I meant to block Alien Magic. I had him on timeout. Sitting here dumb talking all this time. Oh, y'all was arguing with homeboy. I'm sitting here looking like, what are you talking about? And this is why y'all don't be knowing shit, man. Coming in here arguing with retards. Nah, I don't mind you handling that for me. That's good. You're doing that to help me get through, without even paying a nigga no mind, so. But don't get disturbed. Y'all be getting disturbed after y'all have your little back and forth with bozos. I just say stuff to disturb them. Damn, y'all was talking a long time on here. We live in a time where people competing for attention, so you gonna have people coming here saying all kind of dumb stuff. They just competing for attention. It ain't really about wisdom to them. You get my point? That's why you don't see a lot of people speaking on morality and honor, which is the foundations of wisdom. What do you think? How you learning wisdom and you ain't even got no balance with yourself or no truth? Meaning y'all coming straight out of life into these little paths of wisdom, but ain't checking your temperature in no way. what you stand on, what you live by, and nothing being taught to you in that way. Y'all being taught like statements. The black woman is God, but what that got to do with morals? So everything start with fair, which is balance. Meaning you have to be fair in life, period. And this is a perspective, meaning your mind have to be that way. That's what's gonna make you fair in your way. I'm saying your mind have to be that way because your mind is where it's where your intellect coming from. If you got an unfair mind, you got to know that mind is gonna be affected in some way. And so that's what I mean by the mind has to be balanced for you to get wisdom. If the mind unfair, how you think this work? Any old kind of way? You could just be a whole loser in mind and get divine wisdom? When I say get it, I mean it making sense to you and it's clear. You think that's a reality? You gonna get frustrated way before that. You get it? And so everything start with balance. A lot of y'all you kind of overlooking that. You think that's like a slogan or something. It's not a slogan. If I tell you Jesus is the wrong name of God and you already know that, that wasn't the original name. They didn't even have the Dominican language back in the day for it to be his name. You feel me? Jesus Jesus, that's a new modern Puerto Rican Latin type of name. That ain't no name from back in the Hebrew times. Get real. Now you got to be honest with self. Most of y'all, you don't have that. You be like, I don't care, I'm still going like that. How you gonna get wisdom and you can't even be honest about certain things you lost in? What you gonna say? The name no matter, it could be wrong? Everything got to be right, otherwise what we talking about? This ain't school where you could be half right and half wrong and get a D or something. If you wrong in one aspect, you gonna be wrong in them all, cause this is your own creating. Meaning you making your own puzzle. And that if one piece wrong, they all gonna be wrong. How you got one piece to the puzzle wrong, but you got most of them right? We speaking of a completed puzzle. You got a completed puzzle. Two pieces is wrong, but it's completed. How is that possible? How can two pieces of the puzzle be wrong and the rest of the pieces be right? That part. If you got two puzzle pieces wrong and you got a whole puzzle put together, you're gonna have to take that whole puzzle apart. Cause you done put some pieces together that don't go together. If you got two left over that, get it? All the pieces go to the puzzle to make the puzzle right, but somehow you made it, two pieces don't go, but the rest fit it. Them two pieces should fit. Saying it like that. If you grasp that, then you grasp. You can't just be wrong on one thing. If you wrong on one thing, it's like a puzzle. The whole puzzle's wrong. Because there's no way that would happen. If you say, no, that could happen, I could build a whole puzzle and have two pieces left over that don't fit. Them two pieces go with the puzzle. You just didn't put them in their place. But I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about a puzzle finished and you got two pieces left over that don't fit in the puzzle. But all the pieces make the puzzle. That would mean you put pieces together somehow that don't go together. In that, it's wrong. All of it. You got to take it all apart and figure out like what you did wrong. Because all the pieces got to go. And that you grasp, you can't be right and wrong. If one thing is wrong, the whole thing is wrong. If one of your perspectives is wrong, that means everything you know thus far is wrong. Meaning if you heard something I said and you say, damn, I agree with what he just said. That means everything that you know to this moment is wrong. Because I'm sure everything you knew you had it going together. Unless you about to tell me you crazy and your thoughts is all out of whack. But I'm assuming everybody's thoughts got an order. Whether you got a belief system, whatever, it has an order. You ain't just putting and forming things together any kind of way. In that, if I said something and you said, damn, that's right, that means you was wrong on something. Or that means you was wrong on everything you believed thus far. Because that all go together. And whatever I said go with whatever I said. Meaning whatever hole it come from. Like that. If I say that that's the wrong name of Jesus, then that mean I know the right name. And there's a whole teachings and all of that go with that. And you know whatever you know. Like that. You can't be right. You can't be wrong on the one thing on your understanding and then think like, oh, but the rest of what I know gonna match with you. No, it ain't. Whatever you say, go with whatever you saying. And whatever I say, go with whatever I'm saying. Like that. And so let's say you a Christian and you say, man, this one thing he said that I do see he right on. You better come to terms that everything you believe is wrong. Or however you got it. Because whatever I said, it go with whatever it came from. Meaning you'd have to inquire of me, like, can I have the whole breakdown of this thing? But whatever it may be. But you can't think like, well, that one thing he was right on, but the rest I know is right. No. Why would it be? That don't even make sense. That's like a person lied to you once and then you say, well, they everything else they said is right. How? How can somebody be wrong and then right after? These is deep philosophies that y'all have to come to grasp. Meaning you can't be right and wrong. Some of y'all think like, no, you could be wrong. You could be wrong sometimes. That mean you wrong. That's what wrong is. When you wrong sometimes and right sometimes. It's just like that's what lie is. When you tell the truth when you want to. And you lie sometimes. The truth is when you always tell the truth, and right is when you always right. And people ain't wrong unless they choose to be. Ain't no mistakes. I think it's mistakes. Like, you could be right sometime and wrong sometime. Nah. You could be right or wrong, and you can play on that all you want. You could be truthful or a liar. You can play on that all you want. The truth is just the truth and nothing else. And lie is like truth, lie, and anything else. It's gumbo. And so you have to grasp. Peace and wisdom, vendetta to believe. Who are you speaking to? You talking to me? Latashian said, what type of mensuration? Damn, you a girl and don't know how to spell? It was a time where chicks was always, you know, they had good handwriting and they could spell and... What the hell is going on with Ain't nothing more turn off than a chick can't spell. That's like a dude in jail. You like, buddy? I'm just playing. I ain't mean that. You know that. Vendetta the bully. Who are you speaking to? Me or somebody else? I guess he talking to me because y'all cursing him out a lot. start here for some of y'all. You like to compete with me, or you like to convince yourself like he not wise. You not wise when you conduct yourself in a tacky manner. I'm not a kid, so a lot of y'all need to get that through your head. If you coming in here and you talking all stupid and aggressive, like you got a preconceived problem, you can't have no problem in wisdom. Somebody either right or wrong, but there's no problem there. You explain your right or they're wrong or however it worked, but if you coming in disturbed minded like you on SSI and you watch TV and get overly emotional to where you can't even see like, yeah, that is a little. I'm just saying that for some of y'all. Y'all get real, you get real obsessed and attached, and you don't take no time out to be self-aware how crazy and obsessed you look. Now you say, yes, I'm talking to you. You spreading lie and mixing wisdom of truth with no solution and protecting lie. You said that same thing 50 times. Again, you said it two before. You said no solution, just talking fairy tale. You're not being specific on anything you're saying. You just keep saying the same dumb thing. Nobody in here listening to you so much, but you still carrying on. I'm saying that so you can see you obsessed and a little throwed off. If you matter to you. And it's easy to blabber your mouth and say a whole bunch of shit about somebody else, but I don't think your perspective would matter if you ain't right. Meaning you could convince yourself anything you want about me, but if you ain't right in your own head, why would you think that would matter? Or will hold any real merit? That part, you a little boy on here playing girl games with yourself. Getting overly obsessed with another man. That would be me. I'm just telling you this so you get yourself together, champ. And wasting your time trying to compete with me, you not nowhere near on my level. You be thankful I lean over to help you. But outside of that, the way you conducting yourself ain't how a wise person would. And anything you felt I was wrong at, you just make it. You see how I debunked Terrence Howard? And it's just crystal clear and straight to the point. You blabbering your emotions. Keep saying I ain't got no solutions to what? You left that part out. You said I'm spreading lies. Lies about what? You left that part out. That's the most important part. You can't have a problem with somebody, then you gotta figure out the problem you got later. You're supposed to have the problem first. That way when they ask you, what's your problem? You could tell them exactly what they did to you. If you don't know what they did to you, but you got a problem, do you get my point? You're a mental case. And so I'm just taking the time out to show you you're a little thrown off. Now you said, do you have any solutions to help the life? And you see how you asked the question before you jumped into your emotions? That's how you should have started. And moving forward from now, you start that way. You don't dive into your dumb emotions and letting people see you thrown off. You take your time, relax, get your thoughts together. I ain't trying to insult the brother. I mean, don't make fun of him. A lot of people need this. They be coming in here taking offense with me, and they the one being disrespectful. If you just slow your stupid ass up a minute, maybe you'll come to realize whatever you think I'm teaching and saying, you heard that dumb shit from somebody else. And you got the wrong perspective. A lot of y'all like that. You come in here, you got a brain full of hearsay. Somebody told you I said something that I didn't say. And so you're blabbering to prove a point and you get it. You don't have no point because whatever you think, I ain't. Some of y'all come in here and you think, oh, Solace is against black people. You heard that from somebody stupid. You never heard me say that. That part. You come in here try to make a point, you ain't making no sense. Forgetting to say, like, you get it? I'm bickering like this because I thought In that, some of y'all may come to realize, oh, we got the whole same perspective all this time. I'm trying to debate the nigga, and the nigga is just basically saying what I already say better. That's why I thought it was different. Cause he's saying the shit way better than me. He further along. But we saying the same thing. That part. Some of y'all be coming in here disagreeing with me, and what I'm saying help your life. That shit all fucked up. That part. Said, how could I ask a question for something I disagree with? The same way you don't disagree with anything. You just want to be seen. I guess you want my attention. That's why I said you got little girly games going on. But hopefully you grasp what I said and you stop with that. You get it? I'm 42, so show you got respect. Meaning in real life, I would have dusted you out already. This ain't got nothing to do with chumping you off. This got to do with grown-up shit. I'm a grown-ass man. You coming in my space, talking like you don't have no kind of common sense on that. And so you get my point? I would have broke your nose, fucked you up, and I would have told you, you can go get your pops. He probably my age. I'll finish this with him. Because he raised you to think, I guess you could just be talking to people that's way beyond your age, however you want. And a lot of y'all young like that. That's why I say I don't really be dealing with people 35 and under. Because if you come to me with all that sass, I'm going to do you like I would do my kid. Who the fuck is you getting sassy with? And then you going to think we're equal, so you going to try to play like, no, I ain't no sucker. I'm not your age, son. This generation really don't get that. When people not your age, you could feel however you want and disagree with whatever you want, but you still got to speak a certain way, and you're going to be held to that. And that's just called manners. If an older person disrespecting you first, I would say you need to go get your elders. But if you don't have none, well, you got to defend yourself and do what you need. But if you younger and you engaging and you get it, you starting, whatever point you got, it's gonna get lost in your disrespect. And if they somebody my age or older, they more than likely gonna put hands on you, because that's how we was raised. You don't come talking to people older than you in no stupid, disrespectful way with like sass and shit on it. That's an automatic check-in, even from your own gonna check you. Because that reflect on them, you feel me? Motherfuckers be talking about you. They reflecting on them. They like, damn, I taught this motherfucker to have manners. I don't even know why he doing that. Then they gonna whoop your ass too. So I come from them times where you got to keep everything in perspective. I'm not gonna be 30 years old arguing with somebody 42. That's a waste of time. And for one, especially somebody like me, I'm wise. You can't possibly think. You know how wise you would have to be as wise as me or wiser, and you're only 30? Just put that in perspective. I'm 42. Y'all been watching me break things down for 9 years. So you say from 33 to 42, I've been teaching. Let's say I've been getting wise before that, though. 10 years before that, 23. And now I'm as wise as I am now at 42. You're 30. You actually think you can be as wise as I am right now at 42 at 30? That means at 20 years old, you would have been as wise as I was at 33. 32. You get my point? You going too young in years. I'm making it clear you can't get as wise as I am overnight. This didn't happen. I didn't wake up one day and said, oh, I'm wise. It don't work like that. And so I'm giving you the perspective. If you 30 and you think you wiser than me, you gotta know you lost in your ego, because you don't have enough time to be. You started when you was 10? You've been watching me for 10 years, basically. You get it? I'm saying that so you could grasp shit. If you 30 now, that means 10 years ago you was 20. I was 32. You were smarter than me then. You didn't even need to come here all this time, but you did. Then somehow you got wiser than me that fast. Meaning most of y'all started learning from me. Now you wiser than me. That fast? I'm saying it because I'm kind of old. Ain't like I'm some young whippersnapper, 20-something years old. I ain't young Pharaoh when Risa Islam in them age. I got them by about 12, 13 years. A couple more years, I could be one of their daddy. Literally, that's not like a joke, a jab. Y'all got hella ego in a day. In all reality, I'm sure I was busting nuts when young Pharaoh was born. You get my point? What is he, like 28 or 30? If he 28, that's 14 years. I could be his daddy. Like, young Pharaoh like a OG to some of y'all. So I'm saying that so you could grasp, like, I'm not nowhere near y'all age. I don't even see why y'all would think, like, how can you think I got ego and you way younger than me? I'm just asking. If you 26 or 27 and you think like, nah, I'm wiser than that nigga Solace, you don't think you got ego? Cause I'm old. 42 ain't that young. You get my point? And you've been watching me about 9, 10 years, so that means you know I've been sharp about a decade at least. And so now if you be truthful with yourself, that would have to mean 10 years ago you was mad deep. But let's say you like 30 now. When you was 20, you wasn't. If we went back to when you was 20, you was dumb. And so how could I have ego? Like that. A lot of y'all lost in your brain. He said you listen to Lil Peep or Juice WRLD, they don't really sink in their head that I'm 42. I'm somebody's grandfather and my child is their age. It's not really getting in their head. And that y'all come in here to like challenge, and you get my point? I'm your parents' age. If I lived in your neighborhood, me and your parent would probably be like close in age. I'm just being real with y'all. I got little cousins and little homies. They like 38, 39, 40. These is people I grew up with. They was my little buddies back in the day. I used to look out for them. They like 40 now. They got grown kid 20 your age. I'm like granddad to that kid. They like, what's up, grandpops? You know I'm a grandfather, so I got my own grandkids. And that, you get it? My little peoples, they kids, I'm gray head, so I'm grandpa. Cute grandfather, but you feel me? Cute young grandfather, but I'm granddad to everybody. Y'all be coming here challenging me. That shit is like unreal to me. I'm like, they throw the fuck off in the head. They really think I'm their equal or we like the same. I'm older than some of y'all mother. Like, some of y'all in here, you about 22 years old. Your mama about 40. She had you when she was 18. That's a lot of people, really. Meaning a lot of people that's 20 years old, they mama about 38. Meaning if you 20 and your mother had you at 18, she 38 years old right now. If you 20 and your mother's 38 right now, your mother is a little girl to me. We not equals. If we grew up in the same neighborhood, I would have been 18 and your mama would have been 14 years old, and I would have went to jail if I would have had sex with her. And when she was 18 and had you, I was already 22 years old. And niggas would have been looking at me weird, like, damn, why blood 22 trying to fuck with her? I'm saying that so some of y'all could get a perspective. Your elder, your mother, she a little girl to me. Not right now, but if we grew up together around the time she had you, I would have went to jail for fucking with her. But you got me as your peer. Do you get it? Now, Vendetta probably about 20, and Mama about 38, 39. You know, one of them little chicks in the neighborhood that always desperate to have sex with me. You know, I was that dude, you know. If you from my hood, you know you was a young chick. You wanted, you know, don't lie. Every young girl from the projects I used to live in, they all wanted to have sex with me. I wish one of them lied. All of them. I don't care which one you name. If they, damn, they old as shit now. Man, if they was like, I don't know, I'm 42, so if they was like 39 and under, they all wanted to have sex with me, blood. I was that little cute nigga. Old but look young, so you feel me? Like, nah, I'm trying to have sex with cheese. It was like 5 chicks in my projects. I was supposed to take them to the prom. But it's like I said, I was 25, blood. It ain't look right. It's most of y'all. That's y'all mama. She in that age bracket. She was one of the little girls I was supposed to take out. But I was too old then. Some of y'all daddies, your daddy was my little homie. If you 22 right now, right? Your dad had you when he was 18. So he 40. Man, that nigga used to work for me, get beat up and shit. I used to have to come and help him. Not just me, maybe somebody else my age, one of my peers. And he just a little kid. You his kid, he grown now, but you get it? You arguing with me, like, and I'm your daddy's big homie. How? This is the times we in now, where you be arguing with your little partner's kid. And you like, hold on, blood, I raised your daddy and your mama. And you cursing me out like we equals. Now, can y'all stop arguing in here? It's cool, and I'm trying to check y'all because y'all young and goofy, but if y'all want to stay in y'all ways, I don't want to. Get my point? I'm going to let Vendetta go. He bored, but hopefully the rest of y'all grasp that if you young, kind of take heed to the things I'm saying. These are life jewels, you know? You don't want to be talking to people that's way beyond your years, where you actually thinking you further along in the brain than them. Maybe you know your times better than they do. But in regards to life overall, you ain't got enough times to compare, like. And a lot of the things y'all living now is things that we seen constructed. We could tell you every aspect of how you fell into the dumb. We seen them building the dumb for y'all to fall into it. And so you get my point? A lot of y'all be getting a little lost. It's what you call ego. When you 5 years old. Some of y'all be in here 16 talking about I'm 16. You can't even talk to my daughter because she gonna feel offended. Like, why is this little boy yelling at me? My daughter 22 years old. She got a son. Basically, you could say she a married young lady, 22. Some of y'all 18, man. My daughter will be looking at you like, I ain't about to argue with that little kid. I tell her like, yo, slap her. My daughter will be like, man, that little girl's 18 years old. I ain't that part. Some of y'all that young, like, you so young, I ain't even got nobody young enough to beat you up. You way. You was born in 2000, man. You was born when I got my first grade. Let me stop lying. I was born when I got my first gray hair. Now I'm about to depart. It's getting a little warm out here. I gotta pee. I'll pee out here. I can't believe y'all sitting around arguing. Said, do I listen to Juice WRLD? Ain't Juice WRLD a dude that got that OD? Y'all drug addicts in the daytime. I don't even. Y'all lick ass and you know. If you eat ass, you gotta know you got shit for brains. And this is what y'all doing today. Eat butt. They eat ass for it's not a joke. Like they eat ass. Is I don't know. I guess it tastes good to them. You actually live in a time where somebody tell you, man, I sure can go for some doodoo. That's eating ass. You live in a time where a woman will come straight up to you and be like, "Can I eat your ass?" Like that. Where you like, huh? Okay. You a little slow, so you like, oh, I ain't know y'all was doing that, but I ain't gonna turn that down. Let me depart, man. Y'all enjoy your goofy evening. Whoever gave back, I appreciate your balance. Salam, shalom. Now, I'ma depart. Enjoy y'all evening.